Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Hour one, Schaefer and Sliwa on a gorgeous Friday afternoon in America's finest city with you for the next 3 hours. I don't want to bury a lead, Alan. Here is a lead.
What's the lead? What do you got?
Next week, be with us because we're giving away 4 packs of tickets to the San Diego County Fair in Del Mar. So be with us all of next week. We're giving away 4 packs of tickets to the San Diego County Fair. It's back in San Diego, believe it or not. The San Diego County Fair.
The San Diego County Fair is back in San Diego
this year. Which
last year was in Toronto,
and then the Kansas City year was odd, but it was successful. But
God, the Milwaukee one was. I'm shocked.
It was very good
that it moved.
The Milwaukee County Fair, I think, is a thing, but the San Diego County Fair is a real big thing, obviously. And we'll be giving away a 4-pack of tickets each and every day next week. Now, you'll need the iHeartRadio app to qualify to win. So if you don't have the app, here's your reminder. You'll need the app to qualify and win next week. Padres are going to open a series in Seattle tonight at 6:40. Kevin Acee's en route, I think, but he'll be in Seattle.
Coming on a little later.
Up at 5:30.
Yep.
We talked about it yesterday, obviously losing their first road series of the year, dropping 2 of 3 to Milwaukee. And there's a lot of different ways you can go here. Whether it's Manny Machado's struggles, the expectation that Matt Waldron could be designated for assignment within the next couple of hours as well. Here's another thing to look at. As they enter play today, the Padres, despite going 6-9 their last 15 games, haven't lost ground in the division compared to the LA Dodgers. But 3 games, the schedule has stiffened up a little bit, Alan, with Milwaukee and St. Louis recently, Seattle and LA coming up. And we'll see the Padres Fair this weekend.
What are you naturally? Naturally, are you half glass full, half glass empty?
Half glass empty. I'm a realist.
I don't know if that.
I said I keep it real.
Yeah, but the real, you could be real. I'll give you an example because this is where I was going. Okay. Padres are 7 games over 500. I can keep it real and tell you that that's a good record for them. And I could also keep it real and tell you that I don't like the trajectory of where they're going. So I don't know. I'm not sure I like your description of.
No, I agree with that.
Half glass empty, half glass full.
Well, would you describe yourself as, just in general? Forget about the Padres for a second.
I think I lean more towards. I find myself leaning more towards empty.
Me too.
And I hate it. I hate it.
That's how I've always been.
But listen, okay, but don't be the 64-year-old that's like stuck in their ways and they're never getting. We can get out. Like we can
100%.
If I want to exit the glass half empty, I can exit it.
What do you do? Just walk through you just exit? You just leave it?
Just mentally stop convincing ourselves that everything is going to end up negative.
The sky is falling. Yeah. Woe is me.
Exactly.
We've seen this before.
But I lean towards that.
Well, you're from San Diego. Your childhood was the Padres. Yeah, they had a World Series appearance, which is terrific, but there's a lot of years where they didn't.
But typically if you lean towards half glass empty, that's kind of how you look at things, period. Like it's not just a San Diego thing.
But are you shaped by the Chargers' playoff disappointments when they were in San Diego? The Padres' seasons of disappointment as a child?
You know what? Actually, it's kind of weird because for sports, to be honest with you, I think there's crazy opportunity in San Diego.
You are like that.
And I do think that the worst is behind us and it will only get better moving forward.
I agree with you on betting on San Diego as like a commodity or a sports city.
But when you look at like a squad or your team, there's a little bit of like you're waiting for it to crumble.
Wait, why did you ask me this again? If I'm a glass half full or glass half empty kind of guy?
Because you had mentioned they're 6-9 over the last 15 game stretch.
Yeah.
They haven't lost ground in the NL West.
Right.
So I think right now, the way everyone's looking at the Padres, and I feel like more people are starting to kind of go towards, hey, I don't think this is the team that we thought it could be, right?
I have heard some of that, yeah.
So that's why I've got to ask it. Like I'm referencing it because they haven't lost ground in the NL West. They're still hanging with some of these other teams. But I think the quality of baseball is what's starting to concern all of us.
My problem is this, and this is why I'm a glass half empty guy. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think it's fair. I try to be as real as I can for our listeners. Like, truth be told, that's what I'm trying to accomplish each and every day. When I see a team hitting 188 over the last 15 games when they're 6-9, that just moves to the forefront for me. It's hard for me to be like, well, they're hitting 188, but because the 188 to me leads the story. The but is they have been able to tread water to their credit. They're still 7 games over 500 to their credit, but it's hard for me to escape Machado and Tatis' struggles, the collective offensive struggles of the team. Isn't it hard to be a fan of a team that's hitting 188 over 15 games? That's a tough watch, isn't it?
And you got you and I were kind of talking about this a little bit earlier. The Tatis Machado portion, I feel like it goes like so much deeper than them in a slump.
Yes.
Like these two are almost kind of the face of your city. Like if I told you right now, when you think of San Diego, California, and you think of, just look at it from a sports perspective, but I think you can, go a little bit further from there. If I told you, like, give me the names that, like, me growing up, I mean, obviously it's like, Tony Gwynn, you had the days of LT and Phillip Rivers and whatever, you go down the list. Right now it's like, everything's on the Padres' shoulders. Tatis and Machado are kind of the face of your city and your sports landscape and everything else. Not to say Dreyer isn't there, not to say that San Diego City, you think of Dutch and Sean Lewis. There's more to it than that. But these are your two high-profile guys. Brother, I've never seen them struggle this bad for this long period of time. And I kind of put the record to the sides for a quick second here. Just those two players, anytime anybody has anything to say about them, it has not been positive to start this season.
So to your point, Machado since April 28th, this is this stretch where the Padres are 6-9. He's hitting 115. How can we spin it? Tatis, well, we know he hasn't homered all year, but even in a shorter period of time, since that same date when the Padres have gone 6-9, he's hit 216. Because sometimes we go to at least Tatis has hit like 250 or 255 this year. But actually, in his last 15 games, not only has he not homered, we know that.
His average is going.
His average hasn't been as good as it was before these 15 games. So you can't escape. To your point, I'm with you. They are the faces of San Diego sports. Whether you like that or not, they are the faces of San Diego sports. And we are at the point 43 games in, is that right? I think, where I am pleading with them both. I really am. And I think Padres fans are pleading with them both.
Yeah.
Please get this going, whatever it's going to take. You can point anywhere. Is it hitting coach? Is it player? Is it the protection around them in the lineup? Is it the pitching staffs they're facing? Are they healthy? But please, for the love of this fan base, get it going. 43 games is too long of a time to be dealing with this.
I hope we got, I hope there's a little bit of this. We can look back a month from now. I will say this, like, there's been a lot of times that it's like popular to say, they're going to turn it around.
Yep.
And you're supposed to just say, well, guys, come on, they're going to turn it around. You kind of start getting to a point. I mean, of course, they got plenty of time to turn it around, but you start worrying about, like, is there a bigger issue here? Like, we'll continue to go back to Tatis. It's the best version of Fernando Tatis Jr. If I'd have told you can get the version of Tatis from 2024, forget earlier, right? Like,
not even 2020.
Forget that.
Yeah.
Like, because that 2020 seems like you're never seeing that ever again. You kind of start, you sitting back and your mind starts going to this. Is that it? Like, is the best version of Tatis we've ever seen? Even if you want to go back to 20, are we not getting 25 home runs anymore? Like 25.
Throw out the phone number on that. I'm curious.
Not 40. Forget what Tatis was. You went back and you said somebody had sent you when he hit 41, right?
I watched all of them. 42.
Or 42. And how just stylistically what he was, who he was, the swag that came with Tatis. And now seeing him at the plate, like, it's tough and it could change. Tatis, before this month comes to a close, maybe Tatis gets 4 or 5 home runs and we all shut up. But man, when you're in that drought, and especially for me, it's also like the Tatis piece, when he was at his best to where he's sitting today, that part is definitely concerning. I will throw out the number. Number is 877-767-4969. 4760, 877 767 4760. Are we going to see a version of Tatis that was kind of carrying this city, a version of Tatis that was representing this city at its best? Is that behind us? You can call in if you got some thoughts on that.
I think the two easy, I don't know if they're lazy narratives or not. I think the two national stories on Tatis and Machado, and we'll get your calls, 877 767 4760. The easy take on Tatis nationally is he took steroids. Like, that's easy. Most baseball fans would say that out of San Diego. I mean, why would you think twice about it? He had an 80-game suspension. He also dealt with injuries, but he had an 80-game suspension. Look at his numbers before and after. It's the easiest correlation ever.
Is it easy or is it part of the story?
That's exactly right. And that's what I'm asking. I said, it's an easy thing to say, and I don't know if it's lazy, but it is an easy correlation to draw. And you know what they would say about Manny Machado? Here's what I think is becoming more and more clear by the day. He's got a lot of tread on his tires. He's played a lot of games.
Of course he has.
He's 34 in a month. And how much of a factor is that potentially as well for Manny Machado? The fact that, like, is he on the wrong side of his prime at this point? Again, and it's an easy thing to say. Is it more complex than that?
So here's what I'd say to anybody that has that kind of that thought process. It's like, it might be lazy and it might be easy and it might be all that, but I can be convinced of it until these guys prove otherwise, right? Like, again, if Tatis, all of a sudden something started clicking and he gets you 3 home runs the rest of the month and is talking about, oh my gosh, the pressure that was on my shoulders. I cannot tell you why the hell that was so difficult for me. But the fact that I got a couple under my belt, I'm good to go. Until that happens, John, it's really, really tough to not buy into some of the narratives out there or to buy in about some of the storylines that are out there until it happens. And we've heard a lot of people say, guys, no, this just doesn't make sense. He's doing this and he's doing that. And because of this and because of that, we're almost 45 games in.
Which is insane. I mean, after the Dodgers series, you've played a third of your schedule in the regular season, by and large. 877-767-4760 if you can fix Fernando Tatis Jr. or Manny Machado, or are their best days behind them? What do you think? 877-767-4760. We'll switch gears to what Craig Stammen said yesterday about Matt Waldron and what is next for the Padres starter turned reliever. That's next. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, San Diego Sports 760 has 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday with the Bonus Bucks contest. Listen every hour, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. Listen for the nationwide keyword, then enter it at sportssd.com. Next chance to win $1,000 coming up soon on San Diego Sports 760. How long ago was it when you said that the nationwide contest, we had a winner from here?
We had it within the last 2 to 3 months, a nationwide winner of that contest on this station, I think at 5 or 6 p.m. one day. So listening afternoon drive right here on San Diego Sports 760. Yeah, great opportunity to win again each and every day here on 760. We've got the fair tickets. We're giving away all of next week for the San Diego County Fair. So your chance to win starts Monday for that. Today, we'll give away Rod Stewart tickets. Great giveaway. Great show, June 12th, in less than a month at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. I don't know when this becomes officially official or not, Alan, but Kevin Acee is reporting that Matt Waldron is expected to be designated for assignment, as the Padres have made a move or are expected to make a move today by calling up Alec Jacob, a reliever, because basically until Lucas Giolito starts Sunday, they're trying to potentially cover some innings in their bullpen because you don't need to activate Giolito yet. So they're going to activate apparently Alec Jacob. And Kevin Acee is reporting this will be the end of Matt Waldron's time with the Padres, at least for now. He then writes in parentheses, he could go unclaimed by another team and end up back in AAA El Paso. So that's the latest. They've gone back and forth, and we've waffled a little bit on what's next here for Matt Waldron.
Yeah, it's a little weird. You know, even his appearance coming into a game, it was yesterday, right?
It was yesterday.
Each time they play these day games, it feels like it was a month ago.
I know.
But he comes in, pitches a couple of innings, and then Stammen has talked about it, and I think there was a little bit of like, oh, okay, you know what? No, maybe they're just going to use him in a different role. Maybe he'll become, for the Padres, in a game where it's a blowout one way or the other, he'll kind of give you some innings, save you a little bit. You're not necessarily putting him in a high leverage situation, nor are you having him start in any of these games. So it's been a little bit all over the place. Kind of the Waldron experience, you know, just this season in general. Feel bad for him. I mean, I wish he was more productive. He's just not productive enough.
Yeah, I mean, it was this spring training when Craig Stammen went out of his way to say he's dealing with hemorrhoids or had hemorrhoid surgery. And then it was Craig Stammen yesterday saying this about Matt Waldron.
Yeah. He was in the bullpen today, and he'll be in the bullpen tomorrow and the next day, and, you know, going after that.
So is that just him miscommunicating with the front office or not being aware of a potential move? Because that's very, that's pretty, I mean, there was nothing to, that's not ambiguous is what I'm looking for. He stated it like it was fact yesterday, and we haven't officially seen the move, but he stated it like fact he'd be in the bullpen, but he might not even be in the organization later today.
What was the tie before the season started where he said about Waldron? What was the tie there?
He actually just brought it up. He's like, oh, you may have noticed Waldron hasn't been in camp the last couple of days.
But are you bringing that up just specifically for like Waldron and his?
Oh, I just think Stammen maybe could do Waldron some favors over the last 60 days.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion. I mean, if someone said that about me publicly, what he said about Matt Waldron in March, that's like ridiculous for a manager to say that, I think. He wasn't even asked about Matt Waldron. I wish we had the sound. He's like, hey, guys, but Brent might have it somewhere. Hey, maybe you've noticed Matt Waldron hasn't been here for a couple of days. He's dealing with hemorrhoids. It's like nobody even asked. Like the way he brought it up was. And then yesterday, I think a better way to answer that.
Bring up ankle soreness. Don't bring up, whatever, anything.
And then yesterday, I think a better way to deal with it, if you've been communicating with your front office, is like, I don't know what's next because there's comings and goings. We really appreciate what he's done this week, giving us some innings there even today, but I don't know what's next. That's a question for the front office.
I think there's a little bit from Stammen, and we said obviously a lot of, to be honest with you, I don't really think there's been much negative to talk about Craig Stammen. Yeah. Only thing I would say is he said a couple things, and maybe this is his whole like trying to be honest and trying to be, hey, I'm not trying to hold anything back or anything along those lines. Maybe there's a little bit of like, you got to be a little bit more coy with some of this stuff, or you got to just give a more generic answer. Pivetta, remember when Pivetta got injured and we were all waiting.
That's a good one.
Wanted to hear something about Nick Pivetta, and the news came out. The news from Craig Stammen was he may not miss a start. We don't know. Like, all right, well, don't set it up that way, because what's the under promise, over deliver?
Exactly.
And I think there was just, he's had a couple of times. It's like, you gotta, I know all the media loves and the fans love that the honesty. You feel like there's great transparency, but I think there's times where it's like BS, not even BS, but just be more broad with your comment. The Pivetta thing, guys, I don't want to make any assumptions. As soon as we get some info, I'll tell you. The Matt Waldron stuff, we're figuring that out. We'll talk to the front office. As soon as we figure that out, we'll tell you.
Stammen on Waldron this spring.
Quick update, Matt Waldron, maybe noticed he hasn't been here the last couple of days. Had an infection in his rear end and had to have surgery to drain it and make it better. So he's been in the hospital the last couple of days. Hopefully discharged here pretty soon, but all good. But he'll be out kind of week to week, depending on how that incision heals and how he's feeling moving around.
So the media training in me would be like, hey, Matt Waldron's dealing with an infection. He's going to be back. He's day to day or he's week to week. We're not going to get into anything more. It's a personal matter.
Done.
Where he went very specific. Again, okay. I'm not
going to go through the medical report with you guys. By the way, we will put this out on Twitter if you guys need a copy of his medical report.
And you know how rarely they do that.
Yeah,
There's so much ambiguity in health matters, even with what they're dealing with right now with Nick Pivetta and Joe Musgrove.
And a lot of people, and there's this like fine line between, I think, reporters where they have respect, where they're just like, I'm going to leave that one alone. Right. I'm saying in general, any type of injury, they'll push for like, hey, when do you think this guy, how is he progressing this? But details, that part they leave.
Yeah. No,
predominantly leave out.
I completely agree. Kevin Acee, by the way, will join us from Seattle coming up at 5:30 here this afternoon. We've got these Rod Stewart tickets we'll be giving away today as well. On the other side, we mentioned Lucas Giolito. It feels as if he's becoming more and more critical, and we'll explain why on the other side. Plus also, Kevin Acee at 5:30.
Also got some really good comments on the Tatis and the Manny Machado stuff on YouTube. We'll read some of those. Appreciate you guys being active on YouTube as well.
All right, Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Capital One. The Padres and Mariners are getting set for game 1 of their series tonight in Seattle. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going for the Padres and Emerson Hancock going for Seattle. First pitch is set for 6:40. We got a pair of game 6s in the NBA playoffs tonight at 4:00. We got Pistons at Cavs, and then we got Spurs at Timberwolves at 6:30. Capital One is a founding partner of iHeartWin Sports Network. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X business card. Big purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. The Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
All right, we have a developing story for our listeners, which is a chance to win a $50 gift card to El Pollo Loco in the building today. If you're watching on YouTube, Alan's picked up a nice little meal from El Pollo Loco. I have as well. We have Sammy Long in studio.
I'm back, guys.
We're giving away a gift card in 10 minutes. Sammy, you were eating El Pollo Loco just a few minutes ago, weren't you?
They got the new tenders. Unbelievable.
New tenders.
So I, as someone, this is a genuine, this is not a PR thing for them.
Look at that tender.
My entire college experience, because I'm not a good cook. I was like, I get home from San Diego State, I'd be tired. I wouldn't want to do it.
This is a very college San Diego State.
So I got to know there's 2 different El Pollo Locos that I would go to. I got to know the entire staffs there. So
really?
I'm not kidding. I would eat there every night.
And they're like, Sammy.
they would expect me to come every 5:30 or 6 p.m. So I'm excited about the tenders, man. They're excellent. Just had them. I know you guys are giving away a $50 gift card later in the show, but El Pollo Loco is a bona fide winner. Love me some
delicious chicken for 50 years, but always grilled. And now they're doing tenders. Now they're finally doing
even
tenders.
Able to have a nice little wrap.
I got a full spread.
Guac, rice, beans, some tortilla.
Really good.
Brett and I were just talking about the sides at Pollo too. Like you get chicken, you can make it super healthy. You can get a salad, and you got the pinto beans.
Flexible.
But if you want to be a little living on the edge, the mac and cheese is good too.
I do like that. All right, we'll give away a $50 gift card to El Pollo Loco within the next 10 minutes. Sammy, go eat some more chicken.
You want a crunch?
Yes, go eat some chicken. Yeah, let me hear it. Wow.
ASMR of Alan eating.
Yeah. We should start a YouTube channel of El Pollo Loco chicken tenders. All right. Thank you, Sammy. We're giving away that gift card in a few minutes.
Is I just got to eat that whole time.
I know.
Thank you, Sammy.
All right. Now, Alan said he's chewing and eating El Pollo Loco, and we're giving away a gift card in a few minutes. You said there were some comments that you wanted to react to related to the Padres, and we can do that. Again, Kevin Acee is going to join us from Seattle coming up at 5:30. Are you still eating and chewing?
No, I'm ready to go.
Okay. What do you have?
All right, here's a couple. So, as those know, Schaefer and Slee on YouTube. So you can always watch the show on top of obviously listening to us on the iHeartRadio network, also in your car.
Yeah.
Here's a couple that I think this is going back to the Machado Tatis, 2 guys that have been kind of the face of San Diego sports here for a handful of years. And there's so much dependency on them. Like, it is going to be so tough for the Padres. Forget the postseason, forget all that. I mean, and by the way, this happens with a lot of stars. I've seen the Philadelphia Phillies collapse in the postseason these last handful of years, and some of their stars haven't delivered.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in the regular season, it's like the only way you get to the postseason, it's supposed to be a given that Manny Machado and Tatis are supposed to carry you. So I'll read a couple of these comments here. Here's one. Fernando has never been the same since he got popped for PEDs. I know that's a narrative there.
Yep.
Let's not pretend like it's not. Here's another one. It's not the manager. It's not the coaches. The common denominator are the core players. Manny and Tatis are good players, not great players. They aren't the guys getting you to a World Series. I don't have the answer to you on that. I just, and I think there have been times they've definitely been great players. I wouldn't call them good players, but they need to be great for the Padres. So whatever version of those 2 guys that everybody wants to see around Major League Baseball, what are they? But for San Diego, they got to at least be carrying this squad. I don't need to see. I mean, you go start looking. They have a lot of these offensive numbers right now for the Padres. Xander's leading a lot of them. And it's not even like Xander's blowing it out of the water. Yeah. It's just because nobody else is doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, Tatis and Machado, to your point, at times they've been great in their careers. I mean, that goes without saying. This year, they haven't been good. There's no version of Machado or Tatis this year that is good. They've been bad. they have been beyond bad, truthfully, this year. Their numbers bear that they've been flat out terrible for 43 games.
One more I'm going to read here from Johnny. I know people are sympathetic to the stress and pressure players deal with. By the way, I don't know how sympathetic people are. I think people are like, hey, you're getting paid. Go do it. But they've been at this long enough to figure out how to deal with this stuff. It comes with the territory and the money. Really, I think it comes more down to anything else. Like Gavin Sheets struggles, you're only going to say so much. If Ty France struggles,
sure.
Yeah, it's Ty France. It does come back down to the dollars and cents, right? When you have players that are making as much money as they are, they're going to be expected to deliver. And Tatis and Machado have done none of that so far this year.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And that's why then you look at the pitching staff. It's all connected, by the way. It's like you have hip pain. It's probably because of your knees. Or you have shoulder pain. It's probably because of your hips. And now when your offense is scuffling, and that's putting it lightly, you look at like, well, if the rotation can just do its part, if Michael King can have a 2.6 and Randy Vasquez can have a 2.9 and Lucas Giolito is on his way. We'll see him Sunday, by the way, against the Mariners. But are you putting too much pressure on your pitching staff or your rotation to be that, 2.6 rotation or 3.0 ERA, bullpen and rotation where you're just putting it all on the pitching staff because the offense isn't carrying up, any weight, so to speak?
I think there's pressure on the rotation too, but that pressure has more to do with the fact that Pavetta's not there. The pressure has more to do with the fact that you kind of already knew your fourth and fifth starter were going to be question marks. Now your third, your fourth, and your fifth starters are going to have some question marks about them. We'll see how Giolito ends up working in for the Padres, but the pressure is there for the starting lineup. But you're right, you could have a game. I'll just keep going back to it. Michael King pitches a gem in Milwaukee, and he walks out. He's down 1-0. It looks like he's going to take the L if it's not for Gavin Sheets coming in and doing what he does. That's kind of how they have to be. Randy Vasquez tonight. You think if Randy Vasquez gives up 4 runs, the Padres are winning this game? Most likely not, right? 3 runs, most likely not. Like that's, and they'll have games. I won't be shocked. Padres are going to have a couple of games where they score 6 or 7 runs. That's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But just the consistency of these bats are all over the place.
They are, yeah. And again, I feel as if, and maybe this isn't accurate, I think there are a lot of people, at least when they signed Giolito, it's like, oh, we've addressed it. Like now the rotation is where it needs to be. I think hopefully it's a piece in the puzzle, but you still have question marks with your fourth and fifth spots in your rotation. And truthfully, you have a question mark with Lucas Giolito. He's going to need to prove it. He hasn't pitched since last September. It's now the middle of May.
I'm excited about him.
I'm excited to see what he can do, but I also don't know if what he's going to do is what people think he's going to do.
The reason why I'm excited about him is because he's coming in where it's like they're desperate for him.
Oh, they're desperate, yeah.
And yes, that's going to add some pressure. Yes, that's going to they don't really have much margin for error, but at least they got him because, a month ago we were sitting here and the conversation was already there when Pivetta went down. It was like, all right, well, they're going to need something.
Right.
And they did go out there and Giolito's name was thrown out a couple different times. They need him to be the third best starter on this team. I know that's kind of a lot to ask for right out the gate. Maybe it's going to take him a couple of weeks, whatever the case is, but that's going to be the expectations that come with him. I'm excited about him because they can turn to a Lucas Giolito.
Sure.
Where if there was another rotation or another team out there, maybe they're not going to have, they don't have this option or this option went away because the Padres ended up signing him.
We'll give away that gift card to El Pollo Loco in 3 minutes. Now, Steven in our chat just made a really interesting observation. 5 Padres in the starting lineup tonight are hitting 215 or worse. Jackson Merrill, 215. Manny Machado, 190. Ramon Laureano is hitting 214 on the season.
Brother, he's on a colossal decline.
Yep. Sung Moon Song is hitting 154, whatever. It's like 10 at bats. And Freddie Fermin is hitting 176. So 5. It's not like, well, you got 2 guys in your lineup.
You know what sucks? The Fermin thing I hate.
How he's played?
Yeah. I was excited about Fermin coming into this season. I really was. Some of these guys too, if you think about it, I think you mentioned this a couple of days ago. What'd they give up to get Laureano? Did they give up two starters?
Well, that was Fermin.
Oh, no, that's right. The Fermin is the 2 starters. You're right.
It was Stephen Kolek. Who else did they give up? Ryan Bergert. Stephen Kolek and Ryan Bergert.
The Fermin one is a tough one to swallow because you kind of walked into this year, and we heard a lot of people say it to start the season. It's like, hey, I love the depth of this lineup. Hey, that 7-8-9, which was a crater last season, it's not going to be a crater this year. Now you look at the lineup, there's there's craters everywhere. There's holes everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
You said 5 guys batting under 215. And Laureano was the one that got off to such a phenomenal start. And now by the way, if he's batting under 215 now, I mean, I don't know what his streak is and how bad it's been over this course, but it must be just terrible for him to already be below 215.
By the way, the guys hitting over 215 aren't all hitting 315.
I know.
Like the savior of the season, Xander Bogaerts, is hitting 257. And Gavin Sheets has been Mr. Clutch, and I'll take everything he's done, but his batting average is 229.
And Duar's been good.
Tatis hitting 244. You're right. And Duar's been good. And there's your lineup. Those are your 9. And Andujar's hitting 289 and has a sub 800 OPS. We're just proving the point. We're beating the dead horse. Their offense needs a lot. It needs a jolt. And I don't know if it needs the Seattle pitching staff they're going to face this weekend or not. Emerson Hancock today is very good. The rotation the Mariners will set out there is very good. It's just on the Padres. It's just on them. I don't care who they're facing, what stadium they're playing in, what the dynamics are, the weather, or the opponent. They have to get out of this funk. And I think ultimately, like you said earlier, like there's this general belief that they just will. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I think every day that goes by, it makes it tougher. Like you have this blind faith. Usually blind faith is, I don't need to see it to believe it. Now I think everybody's kind of leaning towards, hey, I got no choice but to see it. How much of this do you think, and we talked very, very briefly about it, but the hitting coach, start looking at Craig, like how much of this can you start putting? Because this is how our business works. You can't fire a $300 million player.
Yep.
You're only going to point at the player so much. You're going to start now saying, well, it must be the hitting coach's fault. It must be the manager's fault. Like how much blame do you think is going to start leaning towards your hitting coach who's in his first year as a manager or as the hitting coach of the San Diego Padres, doesn't have, obviously a ton of experience. I mean, I'll tell you right out the gate, like instantly, that's where my head goes. My head goes like, all right, well, what's the hitting coach doing? How come you can have this many guys not producing on offense? It's very, very natural then to look at the hitting coach.
Let's discuss that on the other side. How much blame does Steven Souza Jr. get for this Padres historically bad start? 877-767-4760 right now, though, if you want a free, absolutely free $50 gift card to El Pollo Loco, be caller 6, and you've got a $50 gift card to El Pollo Loco right now. Call 877-767-4760. We'll enjoy it at the break right here in studio. Steven Souza Jr., how much blame does he get for the Padres' historically bad offensive start? That's next on Schaefer and Sliwa. All right, Rod Stewart tickets. We'll give those away coming up. That's a show coming up June 12th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. So be listening for your chance to win those Rod Stewart tickets. We have San Diego County Fair 4 packs of tickets to give away starting next Monday. All next week, we'll be giving away those 4-pack of tickets to the San Diego County Fair. We had just been discussing while enjoying our El Pollo Loco.
Yeah.
We saw highlights of the Phillies and Kyle Schwarber. If you haven't been paying attention,
Oh, disgusting.
Kyle Schwarber is
What
on
is
such
he
a
doing?
heater. He's hit 18 home runs. That leads baseball.
Oh,
He had hit 7 in 7 games coming in. His last 7 games, he had hit 7 home runs. He had another couple of important hits today for the Phillies against the Pirates. He's hit 18. And then you kind of ask yourself, well, how many of the Padres hit? He, like, alone has hit 18 home runs. The Padres' leading home run hitter is Xander Bogaerts with, what, 7?
Xander's got 7. Yeah.
Add up the big 4. If you include Xander, Merrill, Toddy, Machado.
Yeah.
It's not 18.
No, it's not going to be
15.
I'll tell you right now.
Is it 15?
15.
I think
Probably
that's
at
the
best.
number. I think that's probably the number.
I think we said Manny was at 4 or something like that.
He's over that now. I
Oh,
think
no, he's at 6. Yeah, you're right.
7
He's
and
at
6 is
6.
13. How many is Merrill at?
I have
4?
no idea how Merrill's at.
I was
Tell you
looking
right now.
If he has 4, that's still under Schwarber.
He has
And
4.
He has 4. So they have 17. With Toddy, those 4
Jackson
players.
Merrill, Xander Bogaerts, Manny Machado, and Fernando Tatis Jr. have 17 home runs total. The quick one to add there is the Tatis piece, while Schwarber has 18 home runs on the season.
Hey, Steven Souza Jr., you hear that?
Oh, my
See,
God.
here's the thing. To get back to that conversation, I've always been
He's
this
the
guy.
hitting coach, by the way. Of
Yeah,
course.
I've always been this guy because Toddy's had, what, 6 hitting coaches in 7 years? Or 5 and 7? Listen, it's not to say the role isn't valuable because I think that that's a disservice to the role. But when things are going good, you credit the player. Man, Tatis is good.
Yep.
Man, Schwarber's good. When things are going bad, oftentimes you look towards coaching and managers, which is understandable. I get it. But to me, I don't like letting players off hooks. You know, I'm not saying Steven Souza is doing a better job than their hitting coach last year or the one before that. It's just, I don't know. It's hard for me to put it on Steven Souza when I've seen these players perform before.
Here's the issue with that. If you told me one player is having an issue, I'd agree with you. If I told you Padres are one of the worst hitting teams in all of baseball,
Yeah.
their slug is awful,
Yeah.
that 4 of their top highest paid players on offense don't have as many home runs as Kyle Schwarber,
Yeah.
it's different.
Well,
Like
what
if you're telling me it's one individual, that's different. And one player's struggling, that's different. But it's impossible not to ask, again, whether fair or not. It's like, maybe not the best example, but if you're running a business and you got your sales manager that is new sales manager comes in and all of a sudden sales are down across the board, you got to look at your sales manager. And that doesn't mean that your sales reps aren't getting their job done, but it's like if you got 4 or 5 different guys now in their lineup like they do, what did we say? How many guys are banned under 215?
5.
Come on. Like there's some things I have a difficult time trying to justify.
Well, what if I told you the previous sales manager, the sales were down too? Because they were. Because Victor Rodriguez had the 28th best offense in the sport last year.
Mm-hmm.
Got rid of him, brought in someone new. Are they both bad sales managers or is it the reps? You know, is the sales manager communicating something that's not multiple
That's interesting.
sales managers
No,
have been unable to get the message
That's
across?
interesting. I think the issue is more those guys were at one point mashing,
Yeah.
were hitting, were phenomenal. So how much of that is on them? Of course, they'll have a lot of that responsibility. I think for me, what I go back to is I say that, is it one player? Is it 2 players? That's something. Their whole squad is so bad on offense. I think maybe the best way to describe this, collectively, it's everybody's fault.
Yeah, I agree. No, I completely agree with that. But I mean, if you were labeling blame, is the majority of the blame on the player or is the majority of the blame on the organization or the staff? Like I start with the player.
I lean towards player 2 individually, but I think as you kind of like the
collectively.
further you zoom out, the more I start looking at like, all right, well, who's running it? Now, listen, I could also say that probably, are you hiring the wrong guys?
Sure. Yeah.
You know, we could look at that as well. I'm not a fan of one of the things I hate with, and I think it's very unique that the Padres have been able to do this, but to have that much turnover with your manager, but yet still have success, like that's not common.
Right.
That's usually a very, very bad sign. If you keep recycling new CEOs at a company, something's not going right with that company, yet the Padres have been able to have some success.
What I find hard is if it's as fickle as the coaching staff for a star player, then why on earth would organizations invest at the monetary amount that they do in players? Like, why on earth would you give someone $300 million if their success or failure was predicated on some coach making $600,000 a year? Like, that to me is so, like, are we saying then that if Tatis got traded to the Yankees, his success or failure is tied to their hitting coach? That's where, to me, it's like Fernando Tatis Jr. has to bring it himself. It's like there's a difference automatically, like on its face, between Fernando Tatis Jr. and Ramon Laureano and Bryce Johnson. Like, Tatis should fall out of bed at a higher spot than the players I just mentioned, whether it's Laureano, who's a mid-tier player, Bryce Johnson, low-tier offensive player. And for whatever reason, he's not even like his floor should be way higher than it is right now. I have to put the floor on him. Maybe him not reaching a ceiling, there's a collective part of it, but the floor, these players have to have a floor that's higher than it's been when we've seen it before.
That's why I go back to it again. If the argument here is the success of Fernando Tatis Jr. does fall on the shoulders of Fernando Tatis Jr., but the success of your entire offensive lineup that's struggling, yes, I can go at these individuals, but then I have to, like I said, I got to zoom back a little bit and say, okay, well, where's the message coming from? What's getting lost in translation? How come these guys had numbers like this a couple years ago, even last season? Look what their numbers are today. That's my only point. My only point.
Yeah,
it is up to Tatis. Nobody should be justifying or creating excuses for Fernando Tatis halfway through May to still not have a home run.
I agree. I mean, if I'm Steven Souza, am I sleeping well? Like, am I thinking about my job being on the line potentially with the start?
I'm not sleeping well, not because my job is on the line this early into the season, but because I'm the hitting coach and my team's not hitting.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. I mean, but that's probably the same reason why Tatis isn't sleeping well, hopefully. Why Machado isn't sleeping well. I'm paid to produce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably the same reason why AJ Preller, I mean, does he feel good about the way this lineup that he's invested in, over $1 billion in this lineup in contracts have been handed out? And this is one of the worst.
Of course he doesn't.
You know, so it's like, that's to your point almost, which is like, it's collective. There's a lot of people probably responsible for where they are right now.
And a half game out of the NL West.
And a half game out of first place.
And 3-game run differential so far this year.
And a minus
three run differential this year.
Yeah.
Playing that one.
All right. Seattle and San Diego coming up tonight at 6:40. Kevin Acee will join us at 5:30. The wrap on the other side. Rod Stewart tickets were given away. Hour 2. Schaefer and Sliwa next.
This report is sponsored by San Diego Wave FC. The Padres are in Seattle getting ready for game 1 of their series tonight against the Mariners. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going for the Friars and Emerson Hancock pitching for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 6:40. We have a pair of game 6s in the NBA playoffs tonight at 4:00. We got actually in about 10 minutes here. We'll have Pistons at Cavs, and then at 6:30 we'll have Spurs at Timberwolves. Celebrate AANHPI night with Wave FC on Friday, May 15th at 7 p.m. Watch as the Wave take on the Washington Spirit. Plus, fans in attendance will receive an Aloha shirt giveaway. Tickets start at $20. Visit SanDiegoWaveFC.com to get your tickets today.
All right, San Diego and Southern California. What's going on? Hour 2, Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. Rod Stewart. We're going to give away tickets to see him June 12th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll give away those tickets this hour. Beginning Monday and all of next week, you've got a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets, Alan, to the San Diego County Fair, a San Diego staple, a month-long celebration of San Diego.
Yep.
If you like food, you'll love the San Diego County Fair. If you like rides, you love the San Diego County Fair. We'll give away tickets all week long.
I gotta go. I'm gonna try to get out. I haven't been in years.
When's the last time you think you went?
15 years.
Okay, yeah.
It's been a long time. But it was kind of, growing up, it's like, not that we went every year or anything like that, but it's like, yeah, you got to go down to the fair. The way you used to do it, they used to tie good concerts into it as well.
They still do.
And I think that's actually one. There's a lot of good reggae artists that just sometimes they've done that with the racetracks, just when they actually had the races going on. But I've been a while. I got to get out there.
You know who I saw? A reggae artist there 4 years ago.
Okay.
Actually, no, my wife was pregnant 7 years ago.
Okay.
Ziggy Marley.
Oh, really?
7 years ago.
It's a great show.
San Diego County Fair.
It's a great show.
Yes. Right. So to your point, reggae.
What time do they do the show at? Was it like 8-ish?
Yeah, I mean it's still light, but it's that time of year where it's light, obviously at night.
How late is the fair open till?
It's open. I don't know the exact hours, but it's open, right? Like 10, 11,
Hey.
9, 10. It's open. And then
I
they have
gotta
those
make it back
concerts
out
that
there.
go a little longer. So we'll give away those tickets coming up.
It's a great gift.
Next week. That really is a great giveaway. We'll give them away all of next week. Kevin Acee is going to join us live at 5:30. NBA Game 6s are about to get underway, including the Cavs and the Pistons. In a moment, we'll get to the wrap. Brent's getting us. Look at this. We got the 2 TV setup. We got baseball. We got Game 6.
It takes care of us, man.
He's taking care of us.
He just takes care of us. You know what time the Del Mar Fairgrounds close?
What time does it
midnight?
Close? No way. It's
midnight.
Midnight during the fair?
Goes till
late.
Midnight. That's phenomenal.
Is that late?
Yeah, I would rather do like anybody who has like the Disney pass or anything like that. They get the annual pass.
Yeah.
A lot of these people don't go till like 5 p.m. at night.
Got you. They're
there
just after the crowd a little bit.
They let everybody, just all the parents and the kids are just drained by the time 5 o'clock runs, and then that's when they go in.
Should we go?
You could do that with the Del? You think you do that with the fairgrounds?
Let's go one night after the show.
6:30.
At 7 o'clock. Even go at 7 and stick around till 11.
I think it's funner to go during the night anyways, because then the midway is all lit up. So like if you do go on the Ferris wheel or something like that, then you can kind of just look over at everything lit up, and it looks nicer.
I like that.
We should go and we should eat every item that's there. Just kind of something nice and light. Just
fried.
Yeah. Yep.
Just eat fried. Not even
find the healthiest thing they have and make them deep fry it for us.
Are you a carnival game guy?
I like
throwing the rings at the bottles.
I have a little bit of I used to do this, growing up. We would go any of these games. There was there was a place down in, was this El Cajon or Santee? I'm trying to think, based off the 67 freeway. There was a place called Boardwalk, I think.
Okay.
It was some kind of video games, but it also had just some of these other games. I was like a addicted gambler as a kid.
Were you really?
I'm trying to win the tickets.
You're throwing things.
Yeah, I'm doing all that stuff. I was trying to win some of those. So the carnival games I like. I mean, I know they're all a hack, but yes.
I'm the same way. I like them. Yeah,
They're fun.
It was like, yeah, they are really fun. I used to like as
my
a
best
kid.
shot. That's the only shot I got
The
at.
basketball hoop's like 15 feet high.
Well, it's 15 feet high, and then the ball is like
2 times the size.
And
of
the rim's
basketball.
not a circle.
Yeah. You know what I used to like as a kid? Do you remember this one? The one where you had the bowling ball and you had to get it over
Oh, yeah,
the
and it had to
first
stay.
like bump, but
And
then
it
it had to stay before it came back.
It's a tough game.
That's a tough game. Or how about throwing the softball in the back of the bin or the bucket, but it like bounces out?
That one was like the most addicting one because it just looks like so easy.
And then you hit it off the back and the thing flies out like 40 feet.
It was a fun game.
Hey, we need to get there this June.
Do they have the goldfish one out here in Wisconsin? They would have like all these jars with like a goldfish, and then you throw like a ring, and you have to get it to land like in the goldfish bowl.
Are they real goldfish?
Yeah, because if you win it, because you'd always see kids walking around with
right?
like the plastic bag with the goldfish.
I don't know if they're allowed to do that anymore.
If they're doing that here or not.
I don't know. By the way, to be honest with you, they might still be doing that.
They may. I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
If someone knows, 877-767-4760. We'll give away those.
What do I even
search
search here?
AI might have an answer on that. Truthfully. While you search for that, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Who's going to win the PGA Championship?
This is a tough question, by the way.
The PGA Championship. I think, so I've only had one guess in this, and I got that one right. And I have no idea where we're sitting at today because aren't they already a couple days in now?
We're 2 days in. Yeah, right. We're halfway home.
I guess Rory on the other one, and Rory won it.
You did guess him, didn't you?
On the Masters.
Right.
Is Rory way out of this? Is it probably Scotty, I'm assuming?
Let me look at the PGA leaderboard because this has caught me off guard as well. Where is Rory? Rory, where are you? He's tied for 31st at +1, which is only 5 strokes off the pace.
Let's keep going with Rory. I'm going to keep riding Rory. 31st, he's only 5 strokes back.
5 strokes off.
Wow.
I'm going to go with, this is too easy to go with Scotty Scheffler. He's 2 under, which is 2 shots off the pace. So that's very easy to say. But I'll go with him, Scotty Scheffler, arguably the world's best golfer. 2 under, tied for 8th right now. Yeah, I'll go with Scheffler to win the PGA Championship this weekend, underway through the first couple of rounds. Next question.
Will the Spurs Thunder Western Conference Finals be a ratings win for the NBA?
All right, they still got 1 game left to go. I do think I'm going to lean towards San Antonio closing it out tonight. They're going to close it out tonight or tomorrow. Alan Horton said, I think he said something yesterday. He came on. He was the broadcaster for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He mentioned that the Spurs haven't lost 2 games in a row since mid-January.
That's insane.
He's like, and that's what Minnesota has to go up against. I think it will. And I think it will because of Victor Wembanyama. I think everybody wants to watch Wemby. And I do think that that's kind of box office. And the fact that you're going up against the defending champs, the fact that it is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, how disrespectful are we to Minnesota? We're already counting the Timberwolves out. Yeah, I think that series would have some success.
Here's the thing. I think Wemby gets through. I agree with you. I think it ends in 6 games. Everyone wants to see this. And because of that, I'm with you. Here's the thing. If this happened a year ago and the Thunder hadn't won a title and the Spurs were newer to the scene, I don't think you get the same numbers you get now. There's people that hate the Thunder.
Yeah.
There's people that are really fascinated by Victor Wembanyama. I'm included in that list. These aren't the largest markets in sports, but I do think it will resonate with sports fans and basketball fans. So, yes, I think the numbers are up for Thunder, Spurs, and
don't also forget this. They're 8-0 so far in the postseason of the Thunder. They're yet to lose. Spurs took 405 from the Oklahoma City Thunder during the regular season. So, there's also some story that was 1-2 in the Western Conference all year. It was basically those 2 teams were representing the Western Conference. So there's some storylines to it.
I kind of want to see them in the NBA Finals, and we won't because they're both in the Western Conference. But I think it would be kind of fascinating to see that as a final. We won't though. Yep. Next question.
What was your favorite NFL schedule release video?
I'm gonna go. Believe it or not, The Athletic literally ranked
all of them.
They ranked them.
That's hilarious.
I'm not going to tell you who got first, but I'm going to go with second, the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, I watched that. They went up to fans that looked like people from the teams and said, oh, you look like Mike Vrabel. And they'd be like, oh, we're playing the Patriots.
I'll go Titans.
Okay, can you tell me who's 32nd, though? Who had the worst video release? I'm just curious.
They really did do a full rank in here.
Maybe
they stopped.
It's just
Oh, no.
top 10.
Arizona, 32.
They're supposed to go maybe 0-17. I saw they might be underdogs in every game they play this year.
The Cardinals used AI to bring together a Zoom meeting of the mascots. They got 32nd. Baltimore got 31, and the Jacksonville Jaguars got 30th.
Here's what I'm going to do, because oftentimes on the station and throughout San Diego,
Don't do it.
I'm going to do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But I got to be honest. I watched it, the Halo video that the
You
Chargers
don't have
put
to
out.
be honest. You could be prideful.
I have no problem handing out praise for the Chargers social media team. And they've done a really good job over the years. I think they're credited with a lot of the way that the NFL has gone with these release videos over the years. They took shots at Mike Vrabel. They get cute and creative, and they do all these stupid things within their video. I'll give the Chargers. I'm going to do it. I know. It might be a bridge too far.
Dean, keep getting number one in the rankings for the freaking release, and don't get number one in the AFC.
That's
Just
fair.
keep doing that.
That's fair.
By the way, they kept going after Vrabel, the same team that took him out in the postseason.
Good point. Very good point. What do you think, Brett?
Indianapolis Colts, easily.
The Simpsons.
They had a Simpsons video it wasn't like a generic knockoff Simpsons. They went to Disney, got it licensed, did actual animation with actual clips and everything. So for me,
That's
it
good.
was the Colts hand down because of the Simpsons.
I saw some of that too, and that was good. Final question.
Who's going to break out of their slump first, Manny or Fernando?
Yeah, easy for me. I mean, I'm just going to assume it's Manny Machado. I mean, my confidence level in Tatis, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I got no confidence in Tatis right now. I hate to say it, right? Like, I don't want to say that, but if you told me that somebody is going to mash over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to assume it's Machado and it's not going to be Tatis.
Completely agree. I think it will be Manny. And I don't like saying it either. I mean, it was not long ago I would have told you Fernando Tatis Jr. is my favorite baseball player. I don't know if I've completely changed my tune on that, but at some point I probably will. I will always say that when he came up, I've never felt that way about a baseball player in terms of their potential. Now, one of the worst things you can
almost
say,
San Diego instantly was like, oh, we got a franchise player.
But one of the worst things you can ever say about an athlete is they don't live up to potential. And unfortunately, he's not. I mean, he's nowhere near living up to what I thought his potential was when he came up. But he's a fascinating case. I'm with you on Machado. I think Machado gets his numbers. I've always said it. He's been maligned. He's been vilified. There's been tough stretches. He gets his numbers. I can't say that with Tatis.
Well, and Machado's, not that it's impressive, but he does have 6 home runs. Like, it's not like he's done nothing. Now, his batting average is awful.
Right.
And his slump is bad. Do you wish Tatis had a slump where he had 6 home runs?
Yeah, I kind of do. That's the Cal Raleigh conversation. I'm like, I wish this dude had 7
Cal Raleigh
home
had 7.
runs.
That's right.
And was hitting 170. I think it's a better look than hitting 240 with none.
I went to a Padres Phillies game a couple of years ago at Philadelphia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Philadelphia. I was out there, and I went with a buddy of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think Schwarber hit 3.
Are you
I
serious?
think he hit 3 when I was there.
Dude,
because he had one late also in like the 8th. And let's just say the atmosphere, I'm wearing Padres gear, whatever. And Philly fans were fine. I mean, but like by the time you get to like the 8th inning, I'm like, why am I here?
Right.
Schwarber hit his 3rd home run of the of that game
in like the 8th inning. I'm guessing the Phillies probably won that game if he hit 3 home runs.
Padres won 14-13.
No, they didn't, right? They did.
They got mashed.
I mean,
I think they gave up 10, something like that.
We said earlier when we talked before the show, I'm like, I am so envious of teams that have true sluggers.
Yeah.
It's like looking at like
you're
Instagram
so right.
and you're like,
You're
man,
so right.
look how buff that guy is. He's like, I wish I had muscles. I'm so envious of Aaron Judge.
Oh,
obviously.
yeah.
I'm so envious of Murakami. To watch someone hit 7 home runs in 7 games.
That technically, the worst part about all that, it's supposed to be these 2 guys.
Right, I know.
Like on paper, these are the 2 guys that when
guys.
AJ Preller and Peter Seidler, when they were kind of figuring out, hey, we're paying superstars. That's what we're doing. We're going to pay superstars. Soto's obviously a perfect example of it. They got no guys in there. And it's that's such a, I'll go back a little bit. I know there's been obviously some home run hitters, and I know it's different because the games were at Qualcomm Jack Murphy Stadium back in the day. But Padres, I'll never forget that series in '98. They get to the World Series. They had dude, Greg Vaughn, Ken Caminiti, I know, Tony Gwynn, not necessarily, he's not going to be known for
but he hit.
but they had dudes that would just hit. Sometimes Finley would churn into
Right.
I'm
No longer.
I look at this team, can't find anything.
They did have it in 98, but it's been a while too.
That's
since
a long ass
1998. All right, let's turn our attention to the NBA. The postseason back underway tonight with a pair of game sixes. Does the NBA need to clean up flopping, and will it impact ratings if we get to see Thunder and Spurs, not Thunders, but the Thunder and the Spurs? That on the other side, actually, what Alan Horton had to tell us yesterday. You'll hear that again if you missed it yesterday. Plus, we're giving away tickets to see Rod Stewart June 12th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater this hour. Stay with us on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, San Diego Sports 760 congratulates all our winners in iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher powered by Donors Choose. There's still time to donate to a classroom project, and your donation will be matched by Donors Choose. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. Doesn't that reggae just hit a little bit more on a Friday?
Well, it does when you saw Ziggy Marley at the San Diego County Fair 7 years ago.
Awesome.
Right? So, yes, but it does. And again,
Friday, people cruising around.
Yeah.
Driving around.
Beautiful start to a weekend. 100%. All right. So I think it was interesting what Alan Horton told us yesterday about his thoughts on flopping in the NBA and how it pertains to the Thunder, really, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let's take a listen to this and react. This was Alan Horton yesterday with us on Schaefer and Sliwa. He's the voice, by the way, of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
All of the flopping, all of the exaggerated contact, and you're going to see a ton of it, especially if San Antonio and Oklahoma City matchup. As great as Wemby is, he goes down an awful lot. On some minor contract. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, dominant player, MVP. I get it, and it's not because he flops all the time, but it's the anywhere from 2, 3, or 4, 5 times a game that he does sell contact. That's the stuff that's got to get cleaned up because it's only going to get worse. And players are getting really frustrated by it. I can tell you a lot of people are not interested in watching Oklahoma City. I may not even watch any of the OKC games. I have no interest in watching them, mostly because of that. And I think they've been able to push the envelope. Teams and players always push the envelope to get further and further advantages. And they've taken advantage of it. And the league, for some reason, has not stepped in.
All right. So Alan Horton yesterday.
Were you surprised by that?
A little bit. I didn't think he would be that strong anti-Thunder and Shai.
And Horton is, kind of very, very respectful. Let's put it that way. That's the right way to describe him. It got me kind of thinking. I'm like, are a lot of people that way? Because there's the only conversation I hear about the Oklahoma City Thunder, and obviously they're kicking back, waiting. We'll see when game 1 will be. I think the soonest game 1 could be,
I don't even know.
I think maybe Monday or something like that. They'll have a few days off, but Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
But whatever the case is, the only time I see any coverage about the Oklahoma City Thunder, I don't see anything positive about them. Like, does any of the media coverage around the Thunder, there's always like this, no one wants to just say, hey, you know what? Pretty damn good team, 8-0. Look what they've accomplished. They're coming off a championship. They're super dangerous. Look at the depth. AJ Mitchell, this. I feel like there's always like an angle for the Thunder.
I honestly, here's how I feel about
it. A negative angle.
And I honestly feel like it's bad for the sport when you try to disparage the best team. Like, especially like on field or on court. It's like saying, yeah, I know that the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, but yeah, I know the Thunder won the NBA title, but, and I mean, I'll do it with the Dodgers, but it's more off-field related. It's more about spending than it is about their team.
I'm just going to say, at least with there's such a difference between the Thunder and, let's say, the Dodgers. Like, the complaint somebody is going to have on the Dodgers is the deferrals. Payroll. How do you compete with this?
Yeah, but nobody's like,
the Oklahoma City Thunder are the opposite in that. Like, they are truly, if you're an NBA franchise, they are an example of how you can build a contender without being in a big market or, you're going to spend X amount more than this. Like, if there's any franchise you should be giving respect to, isn't Oklahoma that model?
Yeah, like, why? I don't understand why it's bad basketball. It's there's other teams playing better basketball, but they're not better than the Thunder. Like, the Knicks are playing better. It's a better brand. Is that what's happening? Like, if the Knicks were winning titles, I enjoy it. It's a better brand. But the Thunder's like illegitimate.
I don't because
I think there's a belief that they're like this whole.
I can go back to, like, take any player in the league, any player right now left in the playoffs. I could tell you that Jalen Brunson tries to draw fouls.
Right.
Like, I think there's. So I'm trying to just, like, understand why when I see any storyline. And again, we'll go back to Alan Horton and his. Alan Horton does not want to watch Oklahoma City Thunder in the playoffs. Like, this is like as big of an NBA fan as you're going to have. He doesn't want to watch. Maybe we're missing something.
Maybe people won't be watching. What do you got, bro?
If this Spurs win tonight and it ends in 6. Game 1 will be on Monday. If Minnesota wins and they have to do game 7, game 1 won't be until Wednesday. So it's either Monday or Wednesday.
Jeez, we haven't seen the Thunder in
So they'll have at least 1 week off, potentially 9 days off.
But don't you agree? Like, again, on field, and even us in San Diego, I'm not sitting here being like on field. Oh, the Dodgers, their team's okay. No, their team's good. Like their team's been the best in baseball. Nobody's discrediting their team. I feel like people discredit the Thunder team. Like, it's not. It's hokey. It's illegitimate. It's officiating.
Again, I'll go back to it. They got AJ Mitchell, number 38, and he was the biggest storyline from that last game. They don't have Jalen Williams. When they traded with the Clippers, they ended up with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jay Williams was their draft pick. They got another pick coming up at 12 this year. They're still reaping the rewards of that. Sam Presti has done this, has ran circles around. Oh, there's so many things that you should look at with the Thunder and just say, wow, that's pretty impressive what they've been able to accomplish. And it's just so odd. Like Shea also isn't even this guy where he's a loudmouth and he's running. Like I think personality-wise, I don't even have an issue with Shea. And I'm still trying to figure out why the Thunder. I mean, I'm sure some people in the YouTube chat already explaining it to us, but that's a tough one for me to understand.
Is it because he likes Drake? Is that what it is? Is that why people don't like Shea? All right, the Padres have made a move involving Matt Waldron. What is it? We'll tell you on the other side. Plus, we're giving away tickets to see Rod Stewart coming up this hour on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The Padres are in Seattle getting ready to start their series tonight against the Mariners. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going for the Friars and Emerson Hancock on the hill for the M's. First pitch is set for 6:40. We got a couple of game sixes in the NBA playoffs tonight. Right now, they just went to break. Give me 1 second. About 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Cleveland leads Pistons 23-17. And then at 6:30, we'll have Timberwolves and Spurs. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You'll always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
All right, Schaefer and Sliwa, Friday afternoon. Rod Stewart tickets. We're giving those away in 15 or so minutes. Kevin Acee from Seattle live at 5:30. Alan, Matt Waldron lives to see another day or 15 of them. He's been placed on the 15-day IL by the Padres. Alec Jacobs been called up. His injury is being termed a right brachialis. That's according to Google. You just listened to the pronunciation 5 times. A right brachialis muscle injury. What is that? Something in his arm. Front of his arm. A front arm injury for Matt Waldron.
And
Yeah, there was a time when I was a kid, instantly I knew I was throwing a wiffle ball. Okay. And instantly I felt something. I said, that must be my right brachialis muscle.
Yeah, it probably was, honestly.
Yep.
You had the Waldron injury. Let me listen. I'm just, brachialis.
No, you pronounce it right. Okay, then that probably goes back to what they were saying, whatever Greg Samuel was trying to say yesterday in regards to Waldron, where it felt like they wanted to keep him, right?
Right.
And maybe into some of these instances like we've talked about where maybe the game's not close and you need Waldron to come in, you're down 7-1 and eat up some innings.
Sure.
Maybe you're up 7-1 and same thing, same situation. He'll get an opportunity to go in the IL, and obviously the Padres will still potentially get to use him at some point. But yeah, listen, whether it's exactly what he has or he doesn't, the bottom line is he hasn't pitched well for the Padres since he came back and came up, and see what happens, how they use him moving forward.
Do you think it speaks to their lack of overall starting pitching depth that they wouldn't want to just cut ties right now?
Sure.
They want to see it out.
Definitely.
Definitely. It's not like they have all these options just waiting in the wings.
Yeah, and a lot of their things have not worked out with their pitching staff, and some of that has to do with just some bad luck. I mean, think about when they were getting ready to start the season. I'm sure in February they're saying to themselves, "We got an interesting rotation."
Mm-hmm.
Well, how much of that has been kept together? Marquez goes to the IL. Obviously, we know about what happened to Nick Pivetta. I'm still waiting for him. Joe Musgrove, we haven't heard anything from. So I think probably, they don't have enough starters right now that they can depend on. Probably has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, it's interesting because in baseball, you can kind of hide players. Baseball doesn't really crack down on it. So, they can just put him on the IL. He had pitched twice this week. He literally pitched yesterday, but apparently got hurt between yesterday's outing and today. And it was Craig Stammen that yesterday said, we're going to put him in the bullpen because we think he has a role in the bullpen, and maybe that is his future role after 15 days. And by the way, 15 days is such an eternity in baseball that if something else happens to someone else, then all of a sudden he
might be
on the major league roster.
Sure.
Pitching in your bullpen. So we'll see. Just one of those stories that plays out over the course of 162 for the Padres. Again, Kevin Acee will join us coming up at 5:30 here today. There was a story that you sent to me earlier, or we talked about, involving the surge in San Diego State football ticket sales. It was written about in the UT. Their season ticket sales this offseason are up. Their renewal rate is high. I think they're pushing 90% renewal from last year. Plus, they've sold a number of new season tickets this offseason. J.D. Wicker was with us earlier in the week saying it's a trickle-down effect. Supporting San Diego State football supports San Diego State's athletic department. It is encouraging to see the reporting that sales are up heading into the first year of the Pac-12.
Yeah, look, you got an article in the UT talking about Aztec football, and here's the title: Aztec football season ticket sales significantly ahead of last year's pace. Now, I could sit here and make the argument. All right, well, what are you comparing yourself to? It doesn't matter what you're comparing yourself to. Even if it's been a number of years where you don't feel like the potential of San Diego State football from a crowd perspective is where they want it to be. Since I've been here, since I came to 760, we've talked to Sean Lewis twice. We've talked to the general manager, the associate GM, J.D. Wicker. We've talked to a few of these people, and it feels like there's so much attention towards what do we have to do to get San Diegans to come to our games. Mm-hmm. That's a positive story to hear. And I'll continue to push this because I do think that there's something so incredibly important. I'm going to read a couple of stats here because I think this will help. Aztecs' goal this year was to reach a 90% renewal rate. They're close, with renewals at 87%. New season ticket sales are at 607, nearly double last year's new sales, with hopes of reaching 1,000. I'm not trying to tell you that this is going to look like Penn State and Michigan, but here's what they can hopefully take advantage of. They have been very aggressive with their ticket sales as far as affordability. You can buy season tickets for $175. I'll paint you, to me, what would be so cool in SD, what would be so awesome in San Diego, is on Saturdays, we get to a point where it's like every media outlet has decided we got to be at this Aztec game. That when you're driving on the 8 freeway, you're looking at Snapdragon Stadium, and there's 28 to 30,000 fans there, and they're supporting a good product too. That, obviously I get it. If the team's not playing well, that's different. But of everything San Diego has, I do think San Diego State football has the biggest opportunity of growth. And it's going to start with getting some people to come to your games. It's going to start, obviously, with having somebody like Sean Lewis, getting your football program where they got a chance within the division every single year. Obviously, Pac-12 this year. That's encouraging. It's encouraging because it makes me think that what they're doing is moving in the right direction. It's not going to happen overnight. You know this. How long did it take San Diego State basketball to be San Diego State basketball?
Yeah, it took a while.
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes. I mean, listen, I've been to every game at
Snapdragon. It's the right trajectory.
Yeah, I've been at every Aztec game at Snapdragon Stadium. And when you put 25,000 plus in the building, it can be an incredible home field advantage. Sean Lewis would speak just on that point. There were games last year when there were 4 or 5 pre-snap penalties against their opponents because of the atmosphere. Cal comes to mind. They had the freshman phenom quarterback who can play in the NFL. He's back for a second year. And the crowd played a role in 4 or 5 pre-snap penalties. There's 28,000 people in the building that day. So it can be a great atmosphere. And to your point, it's encouraging, I think, to see sales be up. They won 9 games last year. They're heading into this
undefeated at home.
They didn't lose last year. It's a great stadium. It is. So I think because they won on field, they're going to be supported to a higher degree in stadium this year. But the question is to what extent? Yep. Are you going to bump attendance 10%? Or are you going to bump it potentially 25%? And obviously there's a difference there, but it's encouraging that the numbers are going in that direction as opposed to the opposite.
Yeah, I think if they keep doing what they did, I mean, Sean Lewis has been here 2 years.
Yep.
They won 3 or 4 games that first year, 3 games. Right. And then last year they win 9.
Yep.
It's going to be up to the city as well to kind of be responsible for this, sure. To say, all right, if we got a winning product, it's up to us to also show support for it. Yep. So as they continue to try to build whatever it is they're trying to build, it's obviously going to be up to all of us to support them if they're doing it. And if they got some increase in ticket sales, that's only a positive sign.
I mean, listen, next year at Snapdragon Stadium, you're playing JMU. They were in the playoffs. They've been incredibly good.
James Madison,
since going to FBS.
Yep.
You are playing, again, your first Pac-12 schedule that we've talked about. Now, you had Boise here last year. You're not getting Boise here this year. But, to me, Fresno State at home, that's your rival. In football, that's your trophy. That's as big as it gets. I've been told that a lot over my 10 years here. It doesn't get bigger than Fresno State. You're playing Washington State. 2 years ago, they were in the Pac-12 with USC, and you're playing Washington State at home. So I think there's enough there, in terms of meat on the bone from the home schedule. JMU, Fresno State, Washington State, 6-0 last year at home.
Here's the goal. The goal is going to have to be, who cares who you're playing? The goal is going to have to be that the product of San Diego State football is good enough to where we just want to go watch San Diego State football, period.
Sure.
And I'm not telling you that's going to happen, but what I'm telling you is that's going to be the goal. The goal is going to have to be just like when the Padres are playing either the A's or they're playing the Giants, it's like, hey, I want to be out there because the product of the Padres are good outside of two guys that we both know right now that can't hit the freaking ball and hopefully are going to hit the ball.
Right.
But that's what it's going to have to be. And it's similar to, I'll use a San Diego State comp, basketball. Of course, if they're playing, a top 25 team or they're playing Utah State because that's a good matchup, of course your people are going to be there. But there's also a lot of games where it's not Utah State and they're still showing up.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be not just the challenge, but I think that's the opportunity in front of San Diego State football. At the end of the day, I'll say it again. We've seen SDFC. We've seen, obviously, the Padres. SD Wave, I think, has done a phenomenal job in this handful of years. San Diego State basketball has done a great job. San Diego State football, to me, I feel like it's like the stock I would buy of all of them that I feel like has the highest upside. And like JD had said, it's kind of going to start with their football program. And if their football program could become a real program where the fans are out there in San Diego supporting them, a trickle-down effect it will have for, not just San Diego State athletics. Like, I almost treat San Diego State like these are part of our major properties. Let's see if they could do their job, and then San Diego's obviously got to follow them.
And it's cliche, but like the front porch idea, when San Diego State basketball went to the national championship game, their applications were way up because you're on this like big stage, obviously. So when you have athletic success, it impacts the university as a whole, as people understand. All right, we'll give away Rod Stewart tickets on the other side. Plus, speaking of a former Aztec and Aztec for life, Kawhi Leonard, are the Clippers better off if Kawhi's contract is voided? Is that a possibility? We'll discuss it next and give away those Rod Stewart tickets. Schaefer and Slee with San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we'll give away Rod Stewart tickets in 10 minutes. He's performing here in San Diego June 12th. So if you want to go to that show, we have 2 free tickets. Great giveaway coming up in the next 10 minutes. We'll get back to the Padres in the 5 o'clock hour. Kevin Acee will join us at 5:30. You put this story in here.
You see this right here?
I do.
And
PSU.
Yeah. Huge.
Right? When you think PSU, what do you think?
Vikings.
You think Portland State?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the Aztec opener at home this upcoming season. It's
Portland
Snapdragon
State
Stadium.
Vikings football. Go get that W. Get that one and move on.
Yeah. When you the FCS game, you gotta have to win. You want to read this quote here from Brian Windhorst on Kawhi?
Yeah. So obviously, a lot of the conversation around the Clippers, even was this all kind of started before the season, right?
Yeah,
it all started before the
right
season.
around the start.
The
maybe?
aspiration, and did the Clippers find a way to circumvent the
cap?
Yeah, the cap.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like the equivalent of walking in with like a briefcase of money.
Right.
Like every mob movie that you could think of. Like that's what we think of when we see that. An anonymous Western Conference GM claims that voiding Kawhi Leonard's contract over the Clippers salary cap investigation would actually be a reward for LA per Brian Windhorst. Here's Windhorst. There's no way they're voiding his contract, even if the league finds him guilty. That would be a reward, clearing the Clippers' books for them.
Walk me through this real quick, because this is the slowest playing story ever. Like, I don't know if anyone cares. Like, honestly, it is
so
outside of my...
But I know what you're saying, but you should care. Like,
but
go ahead.
Yeah, my point was that I'm trying to make is this on the player or is it on the team?
According to the reports, it would technically be on both. Now, what the Clippers are trying to say, by the way, I'm not going to sit here. I don't want to make it sound like I'm an investigative journalist on this and I know all the details. But part of the question is like, why are you paying Kawhi Leonard this money?
Yeah.
And there's nothing that it says he did anything for your company.
Right.
He's not there running ads and this is obviously with aspiration. All this came out after this aspiration Ponzi scheme, whatever it was that was coming out. And then the question then becomes, well, did Ballmer and the Clippers know about it? So the voiding his contract, I guess what Windhorst is trying to say here, you're doing the Clippers a favor. So are you sure you want to really void his contract? Now, that's very odd. I mean, this is what Kawhi Leonard is tied to, like with the Clippers. Like, it's a very, very odd story. And I know what you said in the beginning about, hey, should we really care about this? You should. If I told you that, I'll give you one example. Maybe this one hits home a little bit more. The Dodgers were doing something that they shouldn't be doing. You wouldn't stop talking about it.
But they are. Or it's every NIL deal. It's literally every NIL deal in the history of college athletics. I'm going to pay a quarterback at Tennessee $7 million to endorse this pizza parlor. Everyone knows it's not worth that.
Well, they were doing that before, but they were doing that literally under the table.
Okay. So
all they did then is just bring all NIL did was, we can give you this money, technically by the books.
But isn't it so funny that if I should care about this Kawhi Clipper story that is so drawn out, shouldn't everyone be crying about college athletics for 50 years? How, like you said, maybe it used to be below the table. Now it's does anyone honestly believe that Ohio State's linebacker is worth $5 million for endorsing a car dealership in Columbus, Ohio?
To use your NIL analogy, I would say it would be a comparison to this. They, offensive lineman, you said car dealership, gets a deal for the car dealership. They pay him NIL money to do commercials for the car dealership, but he doesn't do any commercials. They just pay him for commercials that he never did.
So basically, it comes down to, I get that. So it comes down to what we're saying is this would all be legitimate if Kawhi Leonard posted one time on Twitter, but because he didn't, it's illegitimate. Is that what it's coming down to then?
I don't know if it's just coming down to that. I think it's, Kawhi's uncle, who was very involved in a lot of his business practices. I think it's coming down to, it's like, if you're trying to make a decision between him signing the Lakers and the Clippers, and it's apples to apples and money, But then there's but we can get you another 20 and we're going to get it this way.
Yeah. Okay.
They obviously have to prove that.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot that goes. So
what's the potential?
goes to it.
Is the fallout more significant then ultimately for the Clippers? Because to your point, voiding his contract isn't going to be the biggest penalty.
It doesn't sound like anything's going to happen to the Clippers.
Interesting. So it's more a player violation than a team violation.
At least according to some of these.
And then what are we talking about from a penalty perspective? We're saying the player's got to sit out. I mean,
I think they void his contract. So if I understand that correctly, then I think I don't know if it means well, whatever guaranteed years that he had, he's no longer guaranteed. But it doesn't mean he can't go sign another contract.
That would be interesting because then maybe both parties are better off, wouldn't they? If the Clippers, why are you underwater with Kawhi's max deal? He's older. You're not winning right now. Maybe Kawhi could go help someone that's more suited to win right now than the Clippers.
See what Kawhi's contract. What does he have left on his contract?
Yeah, I don't know. What is it? Year? 2?
$50 million left next season.
So 1 year, 50?
Yeah.
So if they voided it, he could go elsewhere and the Clippers could move on.
Aren't they fine anyways? Like 1 year left on his contract?
Yeah, I don't know.
The contracts that are the concern are the
long ones.
I don't want to give you the comp.
Give me the comp.
The comp is right here.
The baseball comps with this baseball team?
Yeah,
those are long.
These contracts, I mean, even in the NBA, if you got a bad, I think the most you can sign is 5 years. So it's like,
let me make this point, and Brent can make his point. Here's my point when I say, here's what I mean by, I don't think, do sports fans care about the Kawhi Clipper?
I think they do.
Do they?
Yeah, because I'll go back to I'll go back to what I said.
Laker fans may care.
Well, I mean, just take the Lakers out of it. You're a squad out there that's going to try to get the services of Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
And you're pitching between you and another team, or maybe he's looking at 3 different teams. He was looking at Toronto,
LA.
Whatever, right?
Yep.
If one squad is basically telling you,
right.
forget the roster, this, that. Yeah, we understand we want to do all that stuff. But on top of that, we're going to find a different way to get you more money that technically we're not allowed to give you. That's a big deal.
Here, last question. Why is it taking so long?
I don't know.
This is a 2-year saga that's going to play out. Brent, what do you have?
The punishment, if they are found guilty, they will have salary cap circumvention fines, which they didn't say how much it will be, a loss of multiple first-round picks, and suspensions for team personnel.
If the Clippers are found to be in violation.
If Kawhi and the Clippers are found guilty.
Yeah, problem proving that. That's going to be the issue.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm sure that if there's one thing the Clippers have, it's probably like legal representation.
But if you ask the question that you asked, should a fan care? I think a fan should care.
Yeah.
And I think the NBA has done a good job of kind of quieting the story.
Yeah.
It's almost, it's similar to, remember, I'll go back to this. After the first day of the John C. Billups coached a game, and the next day he's accused of this.
Is he indicted?
What happened?
I have no idea.
Once it gets into the legal,
just say whatever.
It's not even just that. It's everything is so delayed.
Yeah.
And it's strategically.
How do you feel about this? Playing out over so much time.
What do you got there, Brett?
He's awaiting his trial date.
He's awaiting trial.
It's not, his trial date isn't set until November 2nd.
Wow. All right.
In the rigged poker case.
Rigged poker case. It's quite a year. All right. Call right now if you want Rod Stewart tickets, June 12th, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, caller 5. You have 2 free tickets to see Rod Stewart June 12th, 4 weeks at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Great giveaway. Free tickets to see Rod Stewart right here in San Diego. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Just call 877-767-4766. 877-767-4766 if you want 2 free tickets to see Rod Stewart right here.
What's going on with your
San
Rockets?
Diego. My Rockets.
Or your Rockets, your Cavs.
It does kind of look like a Rockets logo.
It's the Harden.
James Harden.
I still think of Harden as a Rocket.
Well, it says Rocket Mortgage on the court.
It does say that as well. Updates on the NBA playoffs, game 6 between the Cavs and the Pistons, plus back to the Padres preparing for game 1 against the Mariners. And Kevin Acee, don't go anywhere. Kevin Acee is joining us live
5:30
in 30 minutes at 5:30. Here with San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Padres are in Seattle getting set for their first game of the series against the Mariners tonight. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going for the Pods and Emerson Hancock on the hill for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 6:40. We got a pair of game sixes in the NBA playoffs tonight. Right now in Cleveland, with about 7.5 minutes to go, Detroit leads Cleveland 41-31, and it's starting to get a little testy there in Cleveland. And then at 6:30, we got Spurs at Timberwolves. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy.
All right, final hour. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. Just final hour today on this Friday afternoon. A reminder, we're giving away San Diego County Fair tickets all next week. All you need to do is download the iHeartRadio app. We'll tell you how to win next week right here on San Diego Sports 760. We should broadcast live from there, Alan, this summer, from like the roller coaster. Is there a roller coaster? Yeah, there is.
We should do that.
Do you do roller coasters?
I did one with like Jones when he was 5, but it was like a baby roller coaster. It's just one in a circle.
So,
but yeah,
that doesn't. Yeah, you can't say that's a roller coaster.
It was for 5-year-olds.
This
it was
guy
for 5-year-olds.
Okay, so I'll give a quick roller coaster story. So have you been to Six Flags or no, or Magic Mountain? I don't know. What do they call it now? Is it Magic Mountain or Six Flags? I can't remember.
What's Six Flags, Magic Mountain?
Yeah.
The Six Flags is the
brand. Yeah,
Okay.
Sure.
Have you been?
No, I don't think I have, but I've been on roller coasters if you're about that.
How long ago?
A roller coaster?
Yeah, like how long goes it? Because a lot of people
2004.
Because I was gonna say a lot of people will say, "Oh yeah, I have," but it was in high school.
Yeah,
it was
maybe
like
not
in college or
right.
something like that.
It's been a while.
So would you have an issue now of going on like these roller coasters that are like?
Oh, absolutely, I'd have an issue.
You'd have an issue?
Because I feel like I'd need like a will and like a right because the loop thing still makes no sense. You should fall out.
But the loop thing is actually the easy one. That's not the one that.
What about the corkscrew thing?
Corkscrew, I think I'm okay with too. For me, it's more just the straight drive.
I hate that too. What about the feet dangling? Are you cool with your feet dangling?
So there's I forget which one it is at Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
Where you kind of start off, you get strapped in, you're sitting, your feet are already dangling. Okay. And then, so if you're sitting like this before it starts, it takes you down.
Oh,
so now it
tilts you
down. I don't think it's Superman. I forget which one it is, but it tilts you down.
And
so now your face is just,
kind of?
you're looking at the ground. And then it kind of starts going, and it's just going up the entire time. And you're just looking, your face is down. I'm just staring at the ground as I go higher and higher.
Did you do this recently?
Probably like 2 years ago. Probably 2 years ago.
It would be amazing. Yesterday.
Yeah. And so 2 years ago is not long ago.
No, it's not.
And I would be okay if you told me to go. And growing up, I couldn't do a roller coaster if my life depended on it. Now I'm like, all right, I'll go.
Interesting. I haven't been. Listen, peer pressure. Like if you made me do it, I would do it with you. If we were at a park or we were doing a remote. If my son was like, "Hey, Dad, I want to go on a roller coaster," I would do it. Yeah. If I was alone, I would never.
You're not choosing to do it.
No, I'm going to go on the teacups or something.
Yeah, I am afraid of heights. So for me, the worst part is just the ascent. I'll have to close. I'll close my eyes the whole time we go up. And then once I start feeling us to go down, then I will open them because you start going so fast that you can't tell anyways. I'm also with the peer pressure. Last time I rode it was in high school because there was girls there and I didn't want to look like a chicken. So that's why I did it.
Yeah, no choice.
Exactly.
There's the one that I'm with you on the one that just goes up and it just drops down.
Oh, I would never do that.
That one, I don't know why that one scared me the most.
Because of what you just said.
I will tell you. It's because it just sits up there.
Yeah.
And you have no idea when it's going to actually fall. Then you start kind of like getting into your own head. I'm like, is this strap thing even on properly? All this stuff. And it's like a minute just sitting up at the top until it finally drops.
Here's the worst one for me. And it's not close. I will take the roller coasters you're describing over what I'm about to share.
The horse ones where you just kind of go at the mall. That's what it gets you. And we get scared because it goes up and down and it's spinning.
No, it's not that. It's the pirate ship. That thing, I'll throw up on that.
I don't know if I've done the pirate
when it
thing.
goes back and forth. It doesn't look as bad as it is.
But it's
and
awful.
you get on that thing, if you're sitting in the last row of that thing, which I have done in my life because of peer pressure, it's one of the top 3 worst things I've ever experienced in my life, and I'm not kidding. Now, the other things on that list are probably like Machado going 0 for 4 in some random game against like the Cubs in the playoffs. But you know what I mean? Like
Waldron giving up.
Yeah, it was Waldron yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. But rides, like I like rides, but I don't love rides.
They got the one. The last one is it's this one too. But just take this and add you know you're talking about the pilot one, right?
Ship, yeah.
Take this, but instead it's like all swings.
Oh, I've never done that. Dude, of course I do.
But it's like it's like going.
Yeah, and they independently rotate when they spin around. I know what you're talking about.
That's the worst thing I've ever been on in my life. Yeah, Imagine Melon.
I've never been on that.
Yeah, don't go on.
There's a lot of rides that scare me.
So yes, if you want to do, I think the way you started, you said we should do a show from Del Mar on one of the roller coasters.
That's
a good idea.
And the worst thing, Alan, about the thing with the cages, I remember at the county fairs when they would have those, the carnies would sit there and spin it before they started, and so you would just sit there constantly rotating around
the entire time.
Yeah. All right, I'm all of a sudden like off kilter.
Probably why they don't do that stuff at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Everything you're eating and they get on one of those.
I mean, they do some like really scary things. Mm-hmm. I like the non-scary rides. All right, Kevin Acee is going to join us coming up at 5:30. All right, so Padres and Mariners tonight playing game 1 of their series. We haven't even talked about what the pitcher. Randy Vasquez is going to throw here tonight. He's facing Emerson Hancock, who's a very good starting pitcher for the Mariners. We saw these two teams recently. The Padres swept the series from Seattle earlier this season. So
yeah, that was the 7-game homestand. They were 7-0.
Yeah,
that's the Xander walk-offs, the Gavin Sheets, the Jackson Merrill down the line against the Mariners down 6-0. They win 7-6. I mean, that's last time they played the Mariners, Padres are rolling.
Right, a couple of trend lines here. So you've swept the Mariners not long ago, because the season's not long at this point. You're 6-1-1 in a road series. Even with your series loss to Milwaukee, you've won 6 road series this year. It's a rivalry weekend. But I guess my point is, you're in a stretch, you're playing good teams. St. Louis, Milwaukee, the Dodgers are coming up, the Phillies are coming up, the A's are over 500. But you've played the Mariners well this year, and you've played well on the road. So can they win this road series this weekend against Seattle? I think it's very realistic for the Padres to bounce back and win the series.
Here's only hesitation I would have. And I think, yes, I mean, you can make the case. Everything you just said is completely fair. But I just look at how they've played more recently. So more recently, they were very, very fortunate to grab 2 against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I look at more recently, they were very, very fortunate not to get swept by the Brewers.
Correct.
So you're walking in, the competition's getting better. The Mariners are better today than they were early in the season. I mean, you make that argument, but obviously they got some great arms over these next 3 games. I think that we'll find out a lot about the Padres over the stretch of the next, let's call it a couple of weeks or so, because as the competition gets better, and that was one of the early questions about the Padres, like, hey, are they also just playing well because of their schedule? Are they also playing a lot of teams that they should be beating, which is a compliment in itself? But we'll find out as you get through. We get through the rest of May. Are they still 8 games over 500? You remember before we started the month of May, I said that I'll take 500. Yep. They were 8 games over 500 at that point.
It was 7 over now.
And I said, I'll take all good. But if you're 4 games over 500, I mean, it's just the trajectory, again, of where you're going. You said their high so far this season was 19-9. Yeah, so you're 10 games over 500. Let's see how this next couple of weeks go as you start playing some better competition.
Padres against losing teams. Any guesses on their record?
How many games?
27 games.
27. They are.
Phone that you can't see. I'm still waving.
I'll say 18 W's.
18-9. So what would you say that against winning teams in 16 games? If you're doing your math, that would leave 7 wins out there?
Yeah.
So 18-9 against losing teams and 7-9 against winning teams?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good, right? That's because it's accurate. That's exactly what they are.
Is that exactly what it is?
18-9 against losing records, 7-9 against winning records. By the way, good formula to make the playoffs. Beat up on bad teams. 18 teams don't make the playoffs. If you want to beat up on those 18, you can be middling against the rest. Now, to win a World Series, yeah, you want to be good against good. But I have no problem with that formula, is my point. Now, Seattle's a game under right now, but they technically qualify for a team that's not as good as the Padres right now. This is the series the Padres have won this year, is what this is saying. They've beaten teams that they're quote-unquote better than, and they haven't always beaten the teams that are better than them.
The trajectory of where you're sitting too, if you're 6-9 in your last, if the Padres right now, let's just say 15 game stretch, they were 10-5, our tune on the Padres would be a lot different. If somebody's driving around right now that is like, man, these guys were pretty harsh on the Padres for being 7 games over 500. Why are they this harsh? I don't blame them. Like, I think there's a case to be made here that we're being a little bit too hard on the Padres, but it's more has to do with the 6-9 over the last 15, I would say.
Yeah, no, I completely. And here's the thing with the 6-9. It's to your point. It could be 4-11 without heroics.
Castellanos,
2 outs, 2 strikes.
Kevin Sheets,
2 outs in a shutout. With 2
and I don't
outs
know if we're missing anything else, but there's 2 like kind of earth-shattering moments for the Padres where they could have been 2-5 over that second game stretch.
Part of the 6-9. It doesn't even feel like 6-9. Like they haven't performed even that well on its face, but they've still managed, to their credit, to get 6 wins.
It's like in the NFL. It's like, you're down 4 points and you're at the 50-yard line. It's the final play of the game, and you get a Hail Mary.
Yeah, exactly.
You take the win, but it's like, you should have lost that game. You probably should have lost that game. Of course. I mean, I'm not trying to take Hail Marys happen.
Yeah.
2 outs in the ninth happens with Gavin Sheets. It happens in Major League Baseball. Take advantage of it when you do, but their product over the course of, since really we turned the calendar and we got into May, I think it's been approximately a lot different than in April.
Do we put a lot on Vasquez being Vasquez tonight, with it being Buehler, Giolito, Padres debut? That's your weekend. You go Vasquez, Buehler, who's been fine. There have been some good moments in there. And then Giolito, we don't know, but it feels like if you don't win behind Vasquez,
that's an interesting weekend.
You're putting a lot on the other two.
That's kind of every time obviously Michael King takes them out, it's like, got to get this one. Yeah. I mean, was King the first game? No, King was the second game. That's the game that Gavin Sheets ends up in the home run.
Right. That's exactly right. Let's switch gears to the NFL, which is under a bit of fire with how they will be broadcasting games in 2026, which is similar to 2025 and probably is their strategy in 2027 and beyond. Plus at 5:30, Kevin Acee, our Padres Insider from Seattle. The latest on Matt Waldron, Lucas Giolito, the Padres' offensive struggles, and more with Kevin Acee joining us live at 5:30. Do not go anywhere. This is Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, SDFC is back at Snapdragon Stadium tomorrow night when they host FC Cincinnati. Our pre-match coverage with Darren and Adrian begins at 6 p.m. I'm already done. Whatever they did on Wednesday, it means nothing to me anymore.
Okay, we
Dryer
said they are
yesterday. Awesome, great.
Yes.
What are we doing tomorrow night?
We said they weren't back with one win. Are they back with two? If they win tomorrow, let's say convincingly.
I want to
Who cares if it's
see.
convincing? Let's just say they win against Cincinnati. 6 points in 2 matches.
Keep talking.
Is that back for SDFC? What's their schedule look like after that? They stay home?
I want to say they got one more, don't they? Before
It seems like they do have a lot of home matches. Mike Usher's telling me they have one more at home.
oof,
Who
that's
they got?
a tough one.
Who?
Okay, so I will tell you if they.
You got Barcelona or something? I mean, the way you said that.
They got
27
Argentina?
Yankees? I mean, how scary can it be?
Pretty scary.
Okay. Top of the West or East?
Okay, let me just set this up. You asked the question of,
Are they back with another one?
I don't think they're back,
Okay.
but I think they're like on the right track.
Trending back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you grab May 23rd,
May 23rd.
oh, that's
Let me guess.
now we're
Let me guess.
now we're cooking.
I'm thinking
Now we're having a real conversation.
23rd. Let me guess. When I think about MLS powers in the West.
Yep.
I have 2 words that come to mind. Vancouver Whitecaps.
Yes.
The reason I say that is because Mike Usher texted me. Vancouver Whitecaps, May 23rd. So you're saying, okay, you want a 3 for 3 then. You're looking for 9 points or 7 points.
Yeah. Get Cincinnati on Saturday. And if you can get 1 point against Vancouver, and this kind of closes it out before the World Cup break.
Pretty good.
You gotta feel good about yourself.
Then you'd actually have a 5-match. You'd have
Non-losing.
Yeah,
Something like
non-losing
that.
streak,
Yeah,
2
whatever
wins and
that
3
is, yeah.
ties.
Right.
And then you have your 7-week layoff.
Yeah, because Cincinnati, who, by the way, has got the exact same record as you,
Right.
and basically almost identical to what you're doing in the West, they're doing in the East.
Short week there.
Right?
They just played Wednesday, too.
Yep. They got 16 points. You're saying that's just like literally everything is exact same. Vancouver, guess how many points Vancouver has right now?
30.
And they are atop the Western Conference, 29. They're
Yeah.
tied with San Jose. So both them and San Jose got 29 points.
All right. So be listening this weekend or get out to Snapdragon Stadium for the Cincinnati match.
Get a W against
Saturday.
Cincinnati. Get a tie against Vancouver. I think they're in a good spot.
I agree with that. All right. So the NFL is under fire because they have games on every single network, which leads me down this path. Why isn't Major League Baseball under fire when every single Padres weekend are on a different network? But that's neither here nor
Are
there.
you mad about that? Or
I don't like it.
why do I think it's a compliment to the Padres?
It is because they're on like Fox Television, you're saying. Or
Yeah, I'm saying to me, it's a compliment because they are a good enough team that they're trying to showcase. And it's not to say that every squad is not going to get opportunities for national exposure,
Sure.
but let's be honest here. Like, the Padres are, I think if you're a team that's just a fan of Major League Baseball, I might stop at the San Diego Padres.
Let me walk you through this. You're the same way as I spent $99.99 on Padres.tv. It was billed. I've already gotten the bill. I do the 1 year. You can pay 20 a month. That's more than $99.99. Pay $99.99. Then I had an Apple TV Friday game. Through my credit card, I got it for free. But now I need Apple TV.
Chase?
Thank you. Look at you.
Yeah, 'cause I got a
What are you, Mr. Reward? You know all the
Same thing.
rewards?
You got the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I got it free through.
Nice.
We didn't have it
What
last
do you
year.
got, like the reserve?
Worry about what I have.
No, I need to know now.
Worry about yourself.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to show you my credit card at the break.
I want to see
Okay.
it.
How
Send
many
me,
points you got?
send me your credit score.
It's good. You want to
Your
see it?
credit score? You think this guy's got good? You think he's a guy that
I mean, I'm not just
paid
like,
attention.
okay.
Paid attention. to
So,
credit score.
I need
I've
Apple
seen
TV.
you like sign up for a credit card, instantly
I don't-
cancel it, cut it,
No.
just to help the credit score out.
No, I don't do that, but I don't ask for enough credit. I need Apple TV, though. If it wasn't for
You need
Chase
Apple TV.
Reserve, it's $12.99, right? I need Peacock. How much is that? Right, it's out $12.99. I'm not getting that for free.
Do you know the first time I got Peacock? You want to know why?
Yeah, I'm curious. Was it baseball or
It was a Kansas City Chiefs.
I remember the
playoff
Dolphins game. The game at 0 degrees.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't have a choice.
Exactly.
I've been instant.
But hear me out. Like, I need $99.99, $12.99, $12.99, plus I need Fox, plus I need ESPN, ESPN's cable. At what point is it a bit much? That's, by the way, what the Justice Department is telling the NFL. 87% of NFL games are on network television. CBS, NBC, Fox, ABC. They've taken 13% and put them on streamers, as we know. Netflix would be included in that conversation.
Seems like such a higher number
than 87%.
No, it seems like they're more on the streaming number should be higher.
It's not even that high because 87% is free broadcast television. That doesn't even include ESPN. They only have a handful of games on streamers. Yet they're under fire. Shouldn't Major League Baseball or the NBA be under fire? Every game's on Amazon, dude.
No, everybody should be. I mean,
what's the problem, I guess? Also, you know what I mean? Why would the Justice Department weigh in because games are on Amazon?
Could be people that just continue to complain. By the way, it is annoying.
Yeah,
like, it's very annoying. I don't think anybody, I think anybody's, their viewing experience ain't the same the way it used to be.
Right.
And I like, what I would like? I would be okay. Go ahead and keep charging me, and I'll be the idiot that keeps paying for all of it. But could I just have like one app where it's all just there for me?
I could just steal. You're saying you'd pay for it, and
I'm
I
already
just
paying
want it
for
all
it.
in there.
I'm already paying for it. So can I just have one app that's called One App, and then like everything else is just in there, and every service that I'm paying for is all right there, and I could just.
I want the navigation all in the same thing. I hate having to leave.
Give me 10.
I don't want to leave YouTube TV to go to Apple TV.
And then it's saying, you signed out. I got to sign back in. I got to
scan this QR code. I don't want to scan the QR code. I already paid for it.
We're in the third quarter of the game by the time I figure this out.
This is almost as frustrating as that horse that's not racing. Golden Thumb or whatever. What's his name? The one that won the Kentucky Derby. I don't know what frustrates me.
Hay to earlier?
Yeah. But I don't.
All right, we're both on the same page.
I guess the Justice Department maybe has a point, but I'm screaming from the top of the bleachers right now involving the Padres, Apple TV and Roku. Remember the Roku games, Brent? There's been everything.
I'll just tell you this: it ain't gonna get. I mean, unless like tomorrow Amazon just said, we're buying everybody,
right?
Unless something like that happens. But that's the only thing I'm asking for. It's like, is there a service out there that can put all these apps all in one?
I would love that.
So then I could just have it almost as we used to have it back in the day, where you just skip from channel to channel
completely.
It looks like the reason why they're going after the NFL and not the other sports leagues is the NFL enjoys a antitrust exemption under the 1961 Sports Broadcasting Act.
I remember that. That was a big
61.
61. But my point is, the NBA and Major League Baseball aren't covered. They're not exempt from that thing, but football is.
It's interesting.
So I think that's why they're making a point to bring it up with the NFL, because the NBA isn't exempt from this law, which basically says that most of the games need to be widely accessible on free TV. You can't just take one game and put it behind paywalls and stuff like that.
All right, that's why, real quick.
Yeah.
Somebody said it's called cable, Alan. No, it's not called cable.
No, because it's even away
none
from
of these
cable.
are cable.
Amazon, Netflix, they're not cable. Apple,
Peacock,
they're not cable. That's the thing.
That's the issue.
That's the issue. Kevin Acee from Seattle getting us ready for this weekend series between the Padres and the Mariners. Joining us live next. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Padres are in Seattle getting ready for their series against the Mariners tonight. It's going to be Randy Vasquez going against Emerson Hancock. First pitch is set for 6:40. We got a pair of game sixes in the NBA. Right now they're at the half in Cleveland, and Detroit leads Cleveland 54-50. And then coming up at 6:30, we got game 6 of Spurs Timberwolves. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy.
All right, Kevin Acee with us live from Seattle, Washington. I was a bit concerned, Kevin, that maybe I had jinxed you because last night we were doing a YouTube show, and I'm like, "Hey," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm flying to Seattle today." And then I asked, hey, "Have you ever like missed a game as a result of travel?" And you're like, "No." And they're like, "Oh no! Like, what if today is the day?" But I assume you have made it to the Pacific Northwest.
I am. I just got out of the cold. It's a bit.
Is it cold?
It's going to be cold tonight, boys. They got obviously the roof closed, but the outfield is open. It's going to be cold here.
All right. So Padres and Mariners coming up, game 1. I had just assumed, Kevin, and I just saw the recent move the Padres made, Alec Jacob up, Waldron to the IL. I assumed he was being designated. How do you think that this has played out?
He was going to be designated for assignment. He's hurt. I believe that. I have a policy that I don't just go, oh, this was convenient. Listen, this was convenient. All right. It was. But Matt Waldron's been dealing with something. And then you know what happened? He pitched on, was it Tuesday? And then he pitched on Thursday.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't done that in a while. And now his, let's call it his biceps, whatever the heck the specific injury is. It's barking more, and it's like, speak up now or, forever hold your peace, because, they needed to have a spot, a pitching spot, and he was going to be the guy. And you know what? You don't put a guy on waivers when he's hurt, and Matt Waldron's hurt. So good for everybody involved to a certain extent, right? Like, now he can be on the IL for whatever long, and then he can do a rehab assignment. And gosh, we don't know what's going to happen in those 30, 45 days. Do they need Matt Waldron to pitch for them? So there you go.
Kevin, tonight, Randy Vasquez on the mound. And as much as we talk about, I think there's a lot of conversation, Michael King, we talk about Nick Pivetta, we talk about Joe Musgrove, Lucas Giolito coming up. Just what has been your what's been your thoughts so far on Randy Vasquez? How comfortable are you every time he takes him out?
I'm comfortable that you're going to get what you need. If your offense can give you the 4 runs or whatever, that a good offense, what is it today? If they give you 4.5, which is actually impossible to do, if they can give you 5 runs, 4 to 5 runs, that Randy Vasquez is going to give you a chance to win. I think that maybe some people, and the temptation is to think that he's better than he is because he has a few good starts. Randy Vasquez is what, a number 4, I guess the guy is. That's a guy who can give you quality starts. That's the guy who could throw you 7 shutouts. But you know what? Most of the time he's going to give you 5 and 2. And you're going to be happy with it because that's who he is. So I think that's a really, really important pitcher to have on your staff.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Kevin Acee is joining us right now live from Seattle. Padres and Mariners kicking off a 3-game series coming up in just over an hour. You wrote about it today in your newsletter. Anything that, as you were doing the deeper dive, stuck out even more related to Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado's collective struggles?
Well, yeah, and I'll be getting into it some more. I mean, they've stopped hitting the ball hard. There's all sorts of stuff. I don't know where you want to go. But, the reality is this. And it has always been this way, and it's awesome for the Padres, as long as things turn around, that they've been able to do what they've done in terms of wins with those 2 guys struggling. But all this other stuff we get into that we're like, oh, the hitting coach, oh, Jake Cronenworth, oh, whatever. If Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. don't start hitting like they're supposed to, like they have virtually every year. And it doesn't have to be their best years. It just has to be good years for those guys. The Padres are screwed if that doesn't happen. So, like all the other stuff, that doesn't mean it's not legit. We, that we are not supposed to expect that other players would do well, that the pitching and all this, like those are important things. But if those guys don't hit, the Padres are screwed.
Kevin, you're right. Your franchise players, like that's it. Like, tell me in what sport where your franchise players don't deliver and you're okay. And I'm talking about obviously over a course of it's a long season in Major League Baseball, 162 games. There's no path. Like I'm trying to think of what that path would look like. Let me take a word you just used. You said they don't have to have great seasons or their best seasons, but they have to have good seasons. Can you at this point describe what your definition would be a good season for Tatis?
You mean like is he going to hit 15 home runs? You know what? Let me tell you something. Like I wrote about it today that if these guys were just having average starts, we wouldn't be talking about a lot of the stuff that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Like an average start for Fernando Tatis Jr. after 42 games is 8 home runs. So he has 0. So add 8 home runs to the Padres total. And add between the two of them another 2 or 3 doubles. Add another 5 or 6 singles. I went back and did the research, so I'm not just pulling these numbers out of my backside. So like some sort of 9th inning win by the Padres. I'm actually like basing it on real stuff. Like this is like just add that and then do the math. And guess what? Like they I don't know how many more wins they have, but we're not talking about the worst offense in the major leagues, which they are by a lot of measures right now. And so that's all you need. I don't know what going forward that looks like because, like, at this point, like, he could finish with 15 homers and we'd be like, oh, really? He had 15 homers in the final 4.5 months? That's not too bad.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
He had 0 for 7 weeks. So, yeah, I don't know what it looks like, but it's just, I do know that, like, a lot better. Now, the funny thing is, you know what the difference between 190, what is he, 170, 150 to 70 at bats in? The difference between Manny Machado, I'm not trying to minimize that. 191 is just brutal. It can't happen. But the difference between 191 and 240 at this point is like 5 hits. I mean, or something, 8 hits or whatever. There's no way to minimize it. They both got to be better. Yeah.
The other side of that coin, I completely agree. We all agree. Machado Tatis is like you can't win NBA titles with like your best 2 players. Like, it's just a tough year.
Just need the role players.
Yeah, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen really struggled that year, but the Bulls found a way. I mean, obviously that doesn't happen. But also on the other hand, you wrote about it today. I couldn't believe this. The last 15 games as a team, the team is hit 185. And I guess baseball sometimes is like that, right? It's like when it's not going well, it's not going well for the collective. And maybe on the other side, at some point it'll get going. But it's like no one has really picked up the slack other than these just random moments in time, like Castellanos in a 9th inning or a Gavin Sheets in a 9th inning. It's kind of amazing how the whole team has just seemingly slumped.
And they're working on that in terms of what can they do, because some of that is like good fortune, a bad pitch by the reliever, whatever. But it's 13 times where they've won in the 7th inning or later. They are hitting, I forget what it is, but it's like 150 points of OPS better than, against relievers than starters, which means later innings. They are hitting something like 60. Their batting average is like 60 points better against relievers than starters. Like there's something to this in terms of focus, in terms of passing the baton, and that's something they're trying to figure out, and they have been. So they need you.
Yeah.
Lucas Giolito looks like he's going to make his Padres debut coming up on Sunday, of course, in Seattle. What just kind of big picture with him, and how many starts do you think it will take him to hopefully be the pitcher that the Padres could rely on and depend on, especially with a lot of the issues they've had with some of their starters and injuries? What's your hope from Giolito?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like an interesting question. It's an interesting deal because these things aren't straight lines. Look at Griffin Canning, and I think that Giolito has the potential to be something more of a stalwart in the rotation than Canning, but very similar in terms of you're coming back. He hasn't pitched. He wasn't coming off an injury, but he hasn't pitched yet this year. So good. He could go out 6 innings on Sunday, and then the next time, give up four runs in 4 innings, because whatever. He was tired from that major league adrenaline that he's going to have on Sunday. But then I would think 3-4 starts in, we should be able to know who Lucas Giolito is, right? Like, if he's healthy and all that, then we should know what they're getting. And I think what they are counting on is that innings eater, and not just, if you're an innings eater, it means that you were good enough in games to go 5 and 6 and sometimes 7 to get up to what he's starting late. I haven't done the math, but if this guy can give them 115 innings, honestly, I'm reluctant to throw out a number, but the fact is he has been a 140 to 180 inning guy for most of his career, and that's the kind of guy that they're expecting to get. They did not sign an ace. Now, they didn't think they signed an ace in Nick Pivetta last year. Maybe they'll get lucky, but they need a guy to help their rotation, fill more innings, put them in a position to win more often, be leading or, in the game, not trailing by 3 or 4. And again, that's going to be dependent on their offense to some extent too. But all they want from Lucas Giolito is to be who he was last year. And you know what? Last year was great, but also who he's been for most of his career.
Kevin, final one for me is just on, is there a best case scenario for Nick Pivetta in terms of a timeline? Like, could he return in the next month or 2, or is that overly optimistic?
Next month is overly optimistic. I couldn't give you that emphatic no I just gave you for 2 months, but probably, because we're talking about no one has even talked about when is he going to throw. Now, I'll tell you, neither one of them, Joe or Nick Pivetta, they're not on the trip. So I can't 100% tell you what they're doing or not doing because I just haven't found out. Whereas when they're here and they're in the same place as me, it's a little easier for me. But no one is talking about them doing anything now or saying, oh, yeah, we think it's going to be a couple of weeks. So then you start to do the math and you're going, okay, well, when is it? And then at this point, Nick needs a month to get ready. So, yeah.
All right.
Final one. Just last quick one here. Where's T-Mobile Park? Where's that kind of stack up with some of the ballparks out there in around Major League Baseball for you?
It's probably the 3rd or 4th retractable roof, and they've done such a good job. Houston with the retractable roof. Here, Milwaukee's really, really nice. I mean, you just can't compare to the open air ballparks when you're a retractable roof, but they've done a really good job. I like this, but I'm putting it behind Milwaukee and Houston.
All right, so 3rd in the retractable roof
there you
conversation. Go. I like the specifics there.
You got your
I like
Fenway Wrigley. You got your Fenway Wrigley. You've got your PNC Petco Oracle, right? You got different categories.
I like that. I like that a lot. That was interesting. Kevin, appreciate it. We'll catch up with you. There's a series against the Dodgers next week. Maybe we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. Thanks, Kevin. Travel safe. We'll talk Monday.
Yeah.
Are you a Seattle guy? Not like the Mariners, but like the city of Seattle? Answer that on the other side. I want to know if you're a Seattle guy.
Tell you when we come back.
All right, we're here until 6 p.m. Schaefer and Slee with San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer again for my friends at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place you will love. Absolutely love their hotel and spa at Hamul, where you can experience elevated luxury with a refined hotel stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, all the excitement of Hamul Casino Resort seamlessly brought together in one unforgettable destination. And now you can take your stay to the next level with exclusive hotel packages crafted for the ultimate escape. Make sure to check out their dining options. Hamul 23 with their lobster buffet every day. You can enjoy all-you-can-eat lobster every day, plus dozens of other delicious stations. Start your morning with their new signature breakfast buffet. That's Monday through Friday, 8 to 10:30 a.m. with made-to-order omelets, fresh fruit, and sweet and savory favorites. Or check out Tony Gwynn's Endless Dining. That's every Wednesday through Sunday at Tony Gwynn Sports Bar at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right. What a week. A reminder for our listeners right now. We're giving away 4 packs of tickets to the San Diego County Fair all next week. So be with us beginning Monday at 3 p.m. right here on Schaefer and Sliwa. But I asked you, I don't want to bury the last segment, Lee, which is I asked, are you a Seattle guy? Whatever that means. I mean, are you a Seattle guy? You can take that wherever you want to go.
So I had one of my girl's best friends for a while lived right near Pike Place Market.
Yep.
Okay. And I had been to Seattle before, but brother, I think Seattle is phenomenal.
Nice, right?
Beautiful.
I agree. I like it.
I love it.
I like it too.
I love it. I like the even getting out of just like, the city portion of it. What's the is it Olympic? Is that the famous how am I trying to think off the Rainier. You got Rainier Mountain.
Mount Rainier?
Yep, Mount Rainier.
Yeah.
I said the opposite way there.
That's good.
I've been out there. It's beautiful, man. I love the green up in that. And that just
that's like evergreens or whatever. What's going on there?
That whole part of the country is so beautiful.
Here's what I would say.
The trees,
it's nice.
Everything.
I've only been once to Seattle, but it was in July. I'm like, this place is incredible. Now, my wife was born in Seattle. She's like, I can't deal with Seattle. Because she would visit her dad every summer or like throughout the year. It's just like
a mist. It's always the mist and the rain.
If you're a weather dependent person, which my wife is, where your mood is based on the weather, Seattle's tough. I'm not like that. Like I can deal with like May Gray and June.
But you have like real history with real weather.
Yeah.
I don't know real weather. So I could tell you that. No. I like it. I could tell you that. I love going up to the mountains. I can tell you all that. Brother, I don't know what it is to grow up in a place.
Yeah.
I mean, the furthest, literally I've only lived in Southern California.
That's amazing.
So if it gets, A couple times where it got under 62 degrees and it drizzled, like there was like a little bit of hail. I called the cops. I said, something's going on here.
What's that movie called, Brent? I reference it every like 4 years, where like the person never leaves. They like film the person in a dome or something.
Oh, Truman Show.
Have you ever seen Truman Show?
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
You've left Southern California though, because you told us you went to Tokyo. Did you actually go there, or did like someone just tell you it was
I think
Tokyo,
somebody
but it
just
was
changed
Irvine?
the background of where I was. And I was like, this is amazing.
Because you are a traveler.
This is gorgeous.
But you've never lived outside.
Never lived outside of
San Diego
Cali.
State. You're
Nope.
from San Diego.
My life for a number of years. So yeah.
Maybe you'll. It sounds like you're a Seattle guy.
But I'm with you. Would that just like not knowing what the weather is?
Tough. Dude.
Like Denver's beautiful. Can I live in Denver?
Denver has all 4 seasons in 1 week. It really does. It could be 80 and then snowing.
I've gone up to Big Bear and I'm like, somebody's gonna have to tow the car. I don't know how to. I can't drive this.
That's amazing. No, I'm with you though. In general, like sports notwithstanding, it's not. I'm not asking someone like, "Are you a Mariners fan?" Or that's completely different. I do in general.
Seattle's
I like the Pacific Northwest. I went to Corvallis with San Diego State baseball the last time they were in the NCAA tournament in 2017. In June of 2017, Oregon State's a monster, obviously in baseball. I was blown away by the beauty of. I'd never been to Oregon.
Portland's
I'm like,
phenomenal.
Oregon,
I'm with you.
The West Coast, man. I mean, San Diego's spectacular. There's a lot of like spots.
Northern California. Just go to
it's a good
beautiful. It's like Carmel and like.
Why does everyone live in like by the Atlantic Ocean? Like seriously, 2/3 of the television viewership comes from the Eastern or Central time zone. As in all the people live there. That's not true. There's big cities in the West.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of states with no one in them. Wyoming, Montana. You know what I mean? It just seems like everyone's in this like Northeast corridor where there's like so much else to explore. Get out of Little Island.
John, I don't have the answer for you.
You don't
man.
have the answer for why more people live in the East than the West?
Don't have the answer for you. All right, so this is what we got this weekend. We just need a simple 2 out of 3 against Seattle.
Easy.
We need a win against FC Cincinnati.
Easy. We need that horse to win. He's not racing.
Who's I should already know this. Who's San Diego Wave that play this weekend?
I don't know the answer to that.
They play Washington.
Okay. All right.
All right. They need they need a win too. So that's all we need.
No doubt.
Anybody else left? I think we got kind of the main pillars right there.
You know what? Congratulations, by the way, San Diego State baseball. They clinched the outright Mountain West regular season.
They clinched it. It's done.
Yesterday, run ruled UNLV. Now they got to go win the Mountain West tournament to get in to the NCAA tournament, but they're the 1 seed. After winning, I think they won 19 games last year. They've won 30-something in the first year under Kevin Acee.
Oh, my gosh.
How about that? What a turnaround. And they haven't been to the tournament.
So wait, you get the number 1 seed
in the Mountain West tournament.
But you still got to go win the Mountain West tournament?
Which won't be easy.
So does it matter then? So is it just similar to basketball as well?
Let's put a banner up. I mean, it's like, yeah, you won the regular season title.
I'm not trying to like.
It doesn't matter to get in.
I'm saying that's my point. Yeah.
No, I mean, it only matters if you have the RPI to back it up. Because in baseball, they still use the RPI. So, yeah, if you have like a top 20 RPI.
Good for them. Congratulations to them.
Heading into the Pac-12 next year, I mentioned Oregon State playing in the same league. That's Oregon State. Congrats to the Aggies on winning the Mountain West regular season title in baseball. But, yeah, in terms of this weekend, I would take what you just said. 2 out of 3 in Seattle. Take 2 out of 3 in Seattle if you're a Padres fan.
And if I'm going to be a little more, if I have to, I got confidence in Randy Vasquez, but that's why I want to see a good start from Buehler. Let Giolito walk away with a win on Sunday. It's like just something that they need.
All right, I'll be watching.
Tatis, anything?
I can see him getting a hit.
Come on, fellas.
Have a home run.
Come on, fellas.
It's going to happen at some point, inevitably, right? It's going to happen. When will it happen?
If it happens this weekend, then you and I will go to Six Flags and we'll go just do roller coasters for 12 straight hours, you and I.
We can do that. Or get back in the studio. We'll do a 3-hour show on the Tatis home run.
We can do that too.
Whenever it happens.
On Monday.
On Monday at 3, we've got San Diego County Fair tickets to give away Monday. Be with us for a chance to win those tickets. Recapping the Mariners series, looking ahead to the Dodgers, which will be at Petco Park on Monday night. For Brent and Alan, I'm John. This is Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Great weekend. Peace.